I'm very hyped for this round.
I am too. I'm very, very excited about it.
3 of the runners have done no hit, no upgrades, no infusions.
Man, that's amazing.
SL1.
Yeah, so we're live. But yeah, I mean,
awesome.
So for you, kind of maybe somebody who's not as familiar with this, what does that mean? Like, no infusions, no upgrades, SL1. Break it down for us here.
So what we're doing here is a SL1 no hit, all bosses. So 3 of these runners, and this is let's just boil it down to any percent because they've completed it in slightly slightly varied ways. Like, let's start with Tricky. Tricky has done SL1, no infusions, no upgrades, no hit. So he can't upgrade his weapon. He can't infuse his weapon. He didn't level up his character at all, and he didn't get hit at all.
Okay.
Eden Issue has done the same thing, but no damage. And these are both any percent. And this basically means like 0 reduction of the health bar whatsoever. No fall damage, no poison, no nothing. Gino has done SL1, no upgrades, no infusions, no hit, all content. Distraction Crab has been doing no hit for every enemy in the game. And his PB is 7. This is an insane lineup we have here, guys.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about that. Like, you know, you're talking about every single enemy in the game.
Yeah, really, really impressive stuff. Yeah, Clash of Titans. This is incredibly hype.
So who are our casters today?
Today we have joining us the lovely Burnout Pixie. She is a wonderful streamer and friend to a lot of our channels here. And also, we have somebody named No Hit Jerome. You know,
wait. Did you say what did you say? Did you say No Hit Jerome?
I think I said No Hit Jerome. Legendary White Branch Master, no hit runner, World of Warcraft multi-boxer extraordinaire. Oh my god.
The legendary multi-boxer.
All right, let's get these wonderful casters in here.
Hide your socks, indeed.
We're all ready.
Hide your socks, indeed. The real Jerome.
Now let's make sure people are ready here.
All right, so do we want to go ahead and start getting ready to kick this thing off?
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead and pull in Jerome and Burnout Pixie. I got Pixie. Pixie, welcome in. Jerome, welcome in.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Oh my god.
We can hear you. I'm gonna turn you both down just a tiny bit.
Okay.
Checking audio levels.
Yeah.
And
all right. Jerome, go for it.
Hey, Junkyard, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, got a little bit of sleep. Feeling good.
Yeah. All right, Pixie, how about you?
How's it going?
It's going well.
Oh, good.
I saw Pixie in the earlier bracket. What did you think?
I was there. The earlier bracket was so fucking good. I slept through like half of it, so I was only able to catch the last little bit, like the last hour or so. But I'm really excited.
The last hour was so hype.
It was.
So yeah,
I saw Dino fall to his death. That was unfortunate.
Nobody saw that. Nope. Nobody. Nope. No one saw that.
Oh,
No.
Josh, you're a little quiet to me.
Oh.
Yeah, a little bit, but maybe it's turned up in the stream, so we're good.
Yeah.
You might be able to click on my name and turn me up. I don't know if that's I don't know if I might be all the way up. I'm a little bit quiet in Discord sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are right at time, so we're gonna go ahead and bring all of our runners live. Now, while the earlier bracket had a whopping 3 people, we've got even more. We got a 4th person in this bracket. So we've got Distraction Crab, we've got Eden Issue, we've got Gino Machino, and Sounds Tricky. These are all fantastic runners. And I know all of them have been in previous no-hit tournaments before that Jerome very, very kindly used to run. And now Jerome is a legend in the World of Warcraft community. So let's go ahead and bring everybody live.
All right.
So it looks like we're already at the end of the run.
I'll let them know we're getting ready to get started.
Everybody's fighting, bosses, and
I
wasn't prepared for that.
All right, it looks like we're done. All right, moving on. It's like a tournament.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Okay, I'm gonna let them know we are about ready to go.
Okay.
Just so we're all ready around the same time.
All right. So we're letting everybody know that they can go ahead and about get started with their run. Gino got hit on Cinder? What?
Oh my god.
Eden looks fancy. I know Eden coming in here hot. With
Oh my gosh. Everybody is dressed up. It's amazing.
I know.
Eden and Tricky both dressed up. I even dressed up myself. I'm wearing my pretty Easter dress.
I know. I saw that. It was great.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So Gino Machino is already getting started. Eden Issue is getting started.
Okay. I've tried to turn myself up a little bit. I don't know if it helped at all.
Avian Colossus is wearing their business shorts and t-shirt.
Ooh la la. Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh. Are you exposing those calves?
The God Killer's dressed up too.
So excited. Everybody's so fancy. Look at us. Look at what we did.
Did you see that lovely new browse emote that got put in chat?
Oh my goodness. Browse is amazing.
It might be my favorite emote. Actually, if y'all know Titanite Slav in the chat, he has made a new and improved version of Browse, and it's Hyper Browse. It's absolutely wonderful. You should look it up on BTTV or Franker Faces. I don't know which one it is, but yeah, shout out to him.
I think it's on BTTV, but Hyper Browse is amazing.
I think Gino has started.
And everybody grab it.
Yeah, Gino.
Oh, I think we're started.
Yeah, we're started.
Okay,
we're started. Oh, sweet. Okay.
Where's Tricky?
Yeah, we're started. Tricky.
Tricky was letting the dog out.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. Tricky will catch up. It'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
Good deal.
I'm really excited for this this matchup. I know Distraction Crab has a one-hit PB, so he's actually going to be a real threat. And the other 3 runners, have they gotten this run before? I'm not 100% sure.
I know. So Gino is the only person who so far has done SL1 all content, no upgrades and no infusions, which is a hell of a run in of itself.
It's like 5 steps ahead of this run, basically.
Yeah, basically. Tricky has the same run, but any percent. I know Eden was grinding that run himself. So all 3 of them have done insane amounts of work at higher levels for this run.
Yeah, and Eden actually just got the any percent version of that run, but damageless.
Ah, GG Eden. That's amazing.
Yeah, like just recently.
Holy cow.
The Distraction Crab has been working on his all enemies in the entire game hitless.
That's right.
And he has a PB of 7. Guys, this run that Distraction Crab is working on is like 16 to 18 hours long. So it's a real test of endurance for sure.
It's like, but like, what kind of levels do you get out of a run like that?
Like literally like soul levels, like insane amounts.
Yeah.
Insane. I think I don't know exactly what numbers he gets to, but it's like it is many levels ahead of the average no-hit run.
So Jerome, does this bring you flashbacks of your no-hit days?
Oh yeah, I mean, especially the part where you have to get the broadsword, which is just an absolute nightmare. I never was able to do that consistently, but yeah, I mean, that part's probably the hardest part of the run. And then obviously there's a lot of fights that are going to be really fun to watch. Osiris is coming up. Right, and yeah, all the bosses. DSA is always really hard for me. I mean, I feel like these runners are far and away better than I ever was. So they'll have no problems, but I know I'd be nervous about some of these upcoming bosses.
So,
Jerome, does seeing High Wall here just make you, think about going back to it? Think about going back to DS3, SL1 all content no hit.
Oh yeah, I mean this is giving me some real trauma. But we are. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. All these runners are amazing, so it should be good.
Okay, so. One thing I want to call out is if anybody is in any of the runner streams, make sure you grab clips and that kind of stuff to send to us, because after everybody gets done with their runs, we'll review that, and we'll also use that as a way to help us accurately count who's getting hit, how many times have they gotten hit, things like that.
Also, Sounds Tricky's looking incredible. Yeah. They're dressed up and they're all looking just fantastic.
I know.
Yeah, on top
Eden's
of
looking amazing.
Runners.
Distraction Crab, of course. And I'm sure Gino's dressed up too. We just, we're waiting on the camera, but he's looking good too.
That's right. Gino just, is probably wearing like a full blown black tie affair kind of thing.
I like to
So
imagine what he always
speaking of
does.
Gino's stream, there have been reports that his controller is going out on him. So, very best of luck to Gino. I hope that doesn't cause any issues in the upcoming runs.
It's all that speed running.
It's all that speed running. It can't handle it.
How many socks is Jerome wearing at the moment?
Actually, none. There's no
None.
socks whatsoever.
Are they dirty?
No. There's no socks. So, I mean, even if they're dirty, that's it's beside the point, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they are dirty.
Can you even do no-hit Jerome without socks, though?
No, it's obviously it's a really heated debate, but
Sorry, might be a sensitive topic. We can move on.
So I've got a question. Are we going to be seeing any kind of speed running from Gino or any of these runners? Are they going to be going really fast? Do we know what Gino's got planned, or any of these really good runners?
Well,
I would.
Squilla earlier did the run in 1 hour and 56 minutes.
Oh my.
Oh my, indeed.
He did like a no-roll phase 2 Osiris, and it was terrifying, and everyone was fully clenched the entire time.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. I definitely remember seeing Dino with a perfect run, and then unfortunately falling to his death, which is very relatable in these runs. That happens pretty often. Other than that, I missed Squilla's hits. What did he end up getting hit on?
In regards to Squilla got hit. I'd have to look up the hits, but got hit 3 times total. Let me find them real fast. Squilla took a hit to Cinder. Took a hit to a life drain tick to one of the jailers.
Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
And then
it was
a fire witch hit. Got hit with the fire truck.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
So 2 of our runners are already locked in. Gino and
Eden
Eden are both locked in.
Yep, both had very, very clean Vort fights.
Looks like we have a reset from Distraction Crab.
Which is all good. Happens.
Yep.
So Burnout Pixie, what have you been up to? Are you been doing any no-hit runs? I'm really curious because I've not kept up with the scene too much, but I'd really like to know.
Oh, goodness gracious, no. I'm currently doing my first playthrough of all of the Souls games. So right now I'm on Dark Souls 2.
I like that, yeah.
It's been very interesting playing through Dark Souls 2 for the first time.
So far,
I'd imagine,
positive or negative experience for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's different. It's not... It's a Souls game that was created by a completely different part of FromSoft. So it has a completely unique and different feel. It's like playing Neo. It's more of a Souls-like rather than an actual Dark Souls game.
All right.
That's fair.
I have a question that's unrelated as well. This is has Beastwood ever launched DS2 before? Did he ever figure that out?
Yes.
I think
launched
he
it,
did
and it
actually.
crashed on him.
Oh,
and it
well,
did
that's
the
good.
save-
Okay,
it did
yeah.
the save corrupt thing or whatever, where it couldn't save the game.
Yeah, he had
tried,
that
though.
weird bug.
He certainly tried. So
The distraction grab, is that his second reset? And how many resets are they getting? I probably should have looked
they are
at the
allowed
rules.
3.
Yeah,
They're allowed 3.
we basically took the Wheel of Pog rules and tweaked them just a tiny bit, and then ran with that.
Oh yeah, perfect.
I mean, they were just such good rules.
I'm not even entirely sure I wrote them.
It's okay.
Oh yeah,
Probably
perfectly fine.
the
Yeah.
most notable rule change is that we're allowing Spook on the run for dungeon skip.
Oh right, I did hear about that, and yeah. So Squilla didn't know about that, right? I came in right as that was happening. Yeah, that's an interesting change. What prompted that change? Just the fact that a lot of people do it.
Well, the part of the reason why was because like this run's hard enough already, and we wanted to make sure that people could more easily stay within time. But you know, seeing the caliber of these, I should have probably said you can't do Spook, and you have to walk through Irithyll Dungeon.
Well, it's one of those things that if you practice the Irithyll Dungeon a couple times, it's no problem. But if you're like me and you don't do anything that deviates from your run, you can run into some real problems with the rats. Those rats are they're horrifying.
They are.
Even the dungeon skip itself can be kind of dangerous to do, right? You have to line it up pretty specifically.
Indeed. Okay,
There's a little trick you can do to like make it super consistent, where you basically roll and then you immediately backstep, and it basically lands like perfect every time.
Huh.
It looks super scary, but honestly, it's worth trying.
Okay, so
yeah, I remember Gino coming up with that a couple months ago. That was a crazy strat to see the first time.
So how many tweets have we had about this tournament today? Is it 69 or is it 420?
Or what
I
number?
really thought.
I hope it's
42069
42069 personally.
There you go.
So Gino always has like a boss order where you can't entirely see which bosses he's going to. I wonder if who's going to be doing like a really early Osiris, any weird order situations going on. I know Soundstricky always had a really interesting order when he did runs like this. Are we going to be seeing some like really unique boss orders here?
Well, we saw, I forget who it was. Somebody in the first bracket did Curse Rotted Greatwood last.
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
Kazoodle,
I
yeah.
like doing it last as well because that boss is absolutely terrifying. And so you might as well just get hit somewhere else and not have to do it.
There you go.
So I'm looking at
So
Gino's
from a
splits here.
no-hit perspective, is it worth doing the easier bosses last?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to. It's an efficiency thing, right? When you're grinding a run, you don't want to do the hard bosses last because you're just wasting a lot of time. If there's a boss that you know you can do 100% or like 90%, there's no real point in practicing it extra. Like it's definitely worth getting like Cinder. If you could do Cinder as the first boss in your run, the run would be 1,000 times easier, right? It's just an order thing.
Right.
And I guess that to the point that was just made, like it makes sense why we saw every single person basically do Cinder as early as they could.
Oh yeah, especially on SL1 where if you're not really able to load up your dexterity. Like a lot of runners in the past, like Hob, for example, would put Cinder, he'd put Cinder really late to kind of stack his dex and have more damage, and basically just lower the number of hits you have to do on Cinder. But it doesn't really matter in SL1, as far as I can tell. Yeah, it wouldn't really change anything, so you might as well do it early, get it out of the way.
I mean, because with SL1, you're still getting, you could have a +8 or a +10 weapon.
Yeah, but once you're +10, you're locked in, so it doesn't really. It's not like getting dex in the DLC and then coming back, for example.
Mm-hmm.
In a run like this, there's also an element of like taking some of the mental pressure off. Where like if you're doing Greatwood and you know you're gonna have to go to Cinder afterwards, you're gonna be thinking about Cinder. But if you've already done Cinder, then it's like cool, I just have Greatwood left.
Right.
So from a mentality perspective, there's definitely a good reason to do the harder bosses as early as possible.
So kind of to that point, how hard did it make Darva's DS2 all bosses run by doing Burnt Ivory King last?
Oh, that makes it really much harder, because if you put a really hard boss at the end, then it's also a mental thing too, where you like when you're doing that DS3 all content or all boss, some of the bosses at the end are easier than Cinder. So it's a mental thing where you know, like, okay, I've already done the hardest part, and I just have to make sure I don't make any big mistakes here. But when you have like one of the hardest bosses last, that's a real mental challenge.
I always wondered about that too, because Tricky's very first all-content run that he left Freed for very last. And she is a 3-stage boss that is not by any means easy.
So
yeah, that's an example of somebody being, I assume he's really confident. He's very good at Freed. I would put Frida at first if I could. That boss, I still don't understand that boss. Just a really, really, really challenging one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I guess it's all up to what your strengths are, and if you really master the boss, put all the time in.
So I happen to know that Frida is Sounds Tricky's favorite boss in the game, and I think it was just that he wanted to leave that best for last, you know, where like he just enjoyed it, and it was a little bit. I think it could have been a little bit of entertainment thing too, because like you want to end on a high note. You don't want to end on like, oh, I hit ODK 4 times and he died.
I feel like
Poor
I'm getting called out. That being said, ODK is one of the scariest bosses, especially because most runners don't know his moveset. I guess in SL1, people are actually good at the game, unlike when I was doing my run, when I really didn't know much about the bosses. But ODK is a boss where if you make a mistake, he can trap you in his head. There's all sorts of terrible things that will happen, and he'll hit you really fast. So, not an easy boss.
Yeah, or he'll do that weird stagger thing where he staggers and his stagger staggers you.
Oh my
That's
god,
always
yeah,
fun.
when he
That's the
he
best.
staggers forward. That is a great way to lose a run.
So
Especially if he's
everybody
your last boss.
is everybody using the exact same weapon, the broadsword?
It looks like it.
yeah.
I believe so.
Okay,
Something to note is that so far all the runners have the shield, which is pretty necessary, the Grass Crest shield. Whereas in a normal DS3 run without SL1, you wouldn't necessarily need the shield, although it's pretty optimal to have it. This is definitely necessary in SL1, I would say.
Now, how far ahead are Eden Issue and Geno Machino compared to like Distraction Crab?
They're at least 10, maybe 15 minutes ahead right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when you have those early resets, you can get really far behind. But I mean, that being said, Distraction Crab is still in a great position.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see it all kind of line up once we get to. Well, okay. I know for a fact that Geno is a really, really fast runner, and Eden's really fast too. But I don't know. Things tend to slow down a little bit once you get to like Irithyll.
One fun thing to note about whenever Geno is holding up his shield and he's running, this isn't necessarily why he's doing it, but it will remove those hockey stops, those hard stops that your character can get if you go backwards really quickly with your controller. So it's not necessarily something that's helping him right now, but it is something that can be useful at times if you're running with that shield out.
Okay,
That would have saved me on Aldrich so many times.
I know
God
exactly what
damn
you
it.
mean. Okay,
Yeah, the hockey stops that kill you on Aldrich feels like the #1 boss to have that happen. Dancer, it happens to me sometimes. It's like weirdly, just whenever you're not expecting it.
Okay,
Yep.
so for those who might not be familiar with what a hockey stop is, can you explain that for us, Jerome?
Yeah, so basically, there's an animation in the game for whatever reason. They just put one in where if you turn around, like do like a really fast turn, your character will just stop its momentum completely. And there are certain ways to get around that, and one of them is to be running with your shield out. So yeah, the Grass Crest shield is perfect for that. But it's not something that Geno would have to worry about here, so he's just kind of probably doing it for fun, I would assume.
You have to imagine, once you've done a run a certain amount of times, there are certain running sections that just get a little boring, that you need to have some fun with.
One of the problems with the section that Geno and Eden is on, the problem here is that it's really tempting to just read your chat the entire time. and you could just immediately like run into a slug. There's a lot of things because these runners are not looking at the screen most likely. They are not looking at the game currently because it's just all muscle memory, and that can get a little dangerous, especially at this part. Like where Gino is right now, I've fallen to my death before because you're not looking at all.
Oh man.
I mean, I've seen you do some really impressive things, Jerome, including, you know, the time you fell out of the elevator.
Oh yeah, in the DLC too. Yeah, that was
that one time that happened.
That was the one of the 45 times. So Eden using the fire bombs to kill the slugs. This is pretty much the meta now. Not a lot of people are going to go up to these slugs and hit them with their swords. That was kind of the old school strat. The fire bombs make it much safer. Those slugs are a pretty common source of hits for new runners. The ladder.
They have one little like headbutt attack that can catch you off guard.
Oh yeah, and also if you get locked into like throwing a firebomb, and they spray their poison at you, that can also get you as well. So. Yeah. You don't really want them to be looking at you.
By Tricky are kind of the same way. In in the Crucifixion Woods.
The mushrooms have an instant charge. One of the enemies with an instant charge attack, but it's only if you're in basically melee range. So. Depending on the route you take, you won't have to worry about it. But the route I used to take, which is one I learned from Godkiller, who I believe is in the chat, it takes you right past one of the poison bugs, and he will do an instant charge sometimes.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Mushrooms, wait. I thought those were turtles with, like, extra armor.
There's something.
They're called, I believe they're called purple poison bugs, or I don't know I had an exact name, I swear.
Purple poison turtles?
Yeah, close enough.
Who knows what they are, honestly? We need to get,
are they Ninja Turtles that failed their training?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Osiro's Charge Shrooms. That's what they're called.
Ah.
Yeah, totally.
That's very fancy.
Oh,
so I'm really curious to see if Distraction Crab knows how to dodge a lot of the enemies that most people wouldn't know how to dodge because of his crazy run that he's working on where he kills every enemy. Like, for example, I saw him dodge an attack from one of the very large executioner type, the guys with the big cleavers. He dodged one of those attacks, and it looks like he knew the timing like pretty well. I wonder if he's like learned all of these attacks because that would give him a huge advantage to not make mistakes.
I want to see him like flex parry something, you know?
Like you see his route right now. He's literally just ran past Pot Lady, dodged it perfectly. Really interesting stuff.
I wonder, like, if that actually plays to his advantage in this type of run because he's practiced something like killing every enemy without getting hit. You know what I mean? Like, does it actually help him have a faster run?
I would say it helps him when he makes a mistake. If he like gets into a position he's not expecting, he will be able to get out much more likely. But a runner like Gino or Eden or Soundstricky, they're not going to get into very many like bad situations, so they're not going to have to worry about it. So his advantage is not necessarily going to help that much. I think if this was like if the game had just come out, for example, and he had all this knowledge, it would give him a huge advantage. But it's pretty unlikely that Gino's gonna like fall into an area that he doesn't know where he is or something, you know.
It's kind of cool. We're seeing like I think we're gonna see like kind of a split in playstyles here, because my perception is that Distraction Crab is very, like methodical with his routing and the way he kills enemies and stuff like that. And I get the same kind of vibe from Tricky, whereas like Eden and Gino are like all about efficiency and getting things done quickly.
Oh, absolutely. And you're watching Gino's fight right now, and it's just absolutely like really, really fast, high intensity. Like if he didn't know exactly what he was doing, he would have gotten hit. Like there was a situation there where he had his camera turned away from the watcher, and pretty much any other runner would be pretty likely to take a hit there.
So we've got both Eden and Gino Machino in the Abyss Watchers fight.
Yeah, and this is a fight that I would say will continue to hit runners long after every other fight is consistent. It's just really, 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 really hard to not get hit sometimes because it requires more focus than even like a Cinder fight to me. Also, you might want to note that Gino does this very cool midair hits, which is a really nice trick. He's probably got the best Abyss Watcher fight in the world, so he's for the no-hit runners.
Well, the thing that I've been really impressed about is basically across the no hit community. The thing I've seen is even whenever people have gotten a run or they are really close to getting a run, they're constantly looking for ways to make their run better. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely, because improvement is what keeps you going. That's probably why we all started doing the runs in the first place. It's just that process of learning the run and getting better and improving and adding new strats is it's the most fun part. It's more fun than executing the run. That's in most cases, to me at least.
I completely agree. Like I'm learning stuff
against
watching
yourself,
this.
and it's very cool.
So Zero Salt, what have you been working on? I know you've done a lot of challenge runs in the past. What are you currently up to?
So I've recently sort of thrown in the towel on DS3, and with a one-hit PB, which
you're gonna be back. You're gonna be back.
You're too close.
I might be back. I'm not sure.
We all know you're
The last
coming
thing I
back.
was working on was this weird ultra hard boss order no hit run, which I got a PB of 4 on, and it was for all bosses. And then I just got burnt out, and now I've been working towards the glitchless all beads, all memories in Sekiro. Just getting started with that. Really
That's a lot of fun to do. Yeah,
progresses.
and I love that run, the Sekiro run as well. Yeah.
Zero
very
got
cool.
converted to the Sekiro team.
Oh yeah, that
I'm
happens.
quite pleased with this.
Joe DD and Pixie and Faraz, for
So
sure.
Gino is going to do the walking around the skeleton, the ninja skeleton around the pillar strat, which is faster than the alternative, which is where the ninja skeleton will stand still. And the difference between like how you set that up is that the ninja skeleton, if you run into his like aggro radius, then he will walk around the pillar, and if you walk into the aggro radius, then he will stand still. So that's definitely like a less experienced runner would probably do the standing still strat because it's a lot easier. Eden doing the same thing as well. He's going to run up to the ninja skeleton and he's going to walk around the pillar. Problem is if you're not like very tight with your controls, then the ninja skeleton will aggro and throw very scary knives at you.
So it looks like Gino is getting into the Wolnir fight. What goes on here? Like, what are you focusing on?
Amazing Wolnir fight. Yeah, I love watching his Wolnirs. He knows more about this fight. He knows the hand positions when the hand isn't even there, which is really good.
This is kind of one of those sleeper fights too, where it's like, oh yeah, you just break the chains or whatever, but you can get hit by a number of things completely unexpectedly. Like
Absolutely.
The Mist has some weird hitboxes and stuff.
There are scenarios where you can break a bracelet at the exact perfect time as his hand is dragging back, and it will drag you into the fog, even if your positioning is pretty much perfect.
So there was a second there where Gino was standing still. What was he waiting for?
It looked like, from what I could tell, he was waiting for, like, so he's attacking like the right hand if you're looking at Wolnir.
Mm-hmm.
And let's flip over to Eden issue. So what I could tell was the other hand was about to do an attack, like a sweep attack, and because that kind of came into the forefront, like behind the character's back while he was just standing.
Yeah, so essentially they're moving into these designated safe zones where they know they won't get hit by whatever attack they see Wolnir about to do.
Uh-huh.
And then they just kind of wait for his hands to move back into the right position for them to hit it.
No problem for Eden or Gino. That's a fight that, in most situations, no one's gonna have a problem with. It's all gonna be like really bad RNG, but SL1 does extend the fight by a couple of cycles, and that can lead to bad RNG. For example, the sword getting pulled out or the summoning of the skeletons. And in those situations, you're gonna want to. Most people will bone out, and that will completely change the dynamic of the fight the second time around, because Wolnir will already be awake. So. Just a lot to think about if things go bad. Are these runners prepared?
I'm noticing something very interesting with the routing here. So in our previous group, all 3 runners did Dancer at the same time, and they did it right before Sage. Not. Let's see. The only runner that's doing that in this group is Distraction Crab. Everyone else is saving her for later, so they'll be doing Pontiff with a +7 rather than the +9.
Yeah, and that makes sense because the fight really won't change. You're going to double parry anyways, I believe.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. It makes more sense to optimize your routing and make Dancer easier later, because Dancer can be pretty hard. Her positioning is not. It's not super easy, and I believe it's also a faster route if you do Dancer later, because you're going to get that free teleport back. So that's probably most likely why they're doing it. It's not really a safety thing, because these runners know how to do Dancer for an hour and a half if they have to.
So do you think the nice outfits help these runners be more focused in this game?
I know it helps them look extra dapper.
I think personally it adds a little bit of tension, and they're probably more nervous because of it. I know whenever I dressed up, it made me more aware that I was in a tournament, like, because I would only dress up for tournaments. Like I would wear like a suit jacket or something, and it made me much more aware that I was in an event. If they're like currently uncomfortable, if they're sweating, then they're like, okay, they're definitely feeling the stress.
Now we've got Eden Issue going ahead and doing Sage.
Yeah, and he got a little unlucky with the Fair and Flash Sword coming out, which you cannot parry, but he's doing the double parry strat, which is really great. And he did that no problem at all. Really, oh my, yeah, really, really, really nice fight.
Let's go back to.
We got Tricky wrapping up on the sponsors here. Yeah, phase 1, right?
I was surprised at how fast Eden got that Sage down.
Yeah, the double parry strat is really clean. I would say pretty much everybody does the parry strat now, I would assume at this point, because the other strat is not consistent. The strat where you basically, well, for SL1 it would be different, but the normal strat would be you hit Sage a couple times, she teleports, and you can tell where she's going to go based on the crystal patterns, and then you just chase her down. But weird things can happen where you get hit even if you're staggering her. Basically, she can just hyper armor your attack, and so most people would parry at this point, I believe, because that's just so consistent. That being said, parries can get in your head too. Like, that's something that's very mental.
Oh, Eden's missed a firebomb. Okay, he got it. We're good.
So what exactly is the risky part with like where Eden is currently at?
His risk right now would be almost certainly the upcoming Archer section. I would say this part here is 100%, but Eden's about to get him up to the hardest part of the Cathedral, which is, I believe, not 100% consistent. Maybe it is. Maybe there's been some new optimizations, but the part where he's going to throw skulls and there's going to be like a flamey guy at the door, and you know the door situation in the Cathedral. That part is not 100%. There are things that can happen.
Yeah, a lot of people think that a lot of people think that Pontiff Stairs are the hardest running section in the game. I personally think that this is a lot harder.
Yeah, there's an incredible amount of precision here, and also there's RNG. There's a pillar coming up, and there's going to be an enemy that's going to run towards you. And based on where that enemy is, that's what I think is inconsistent. And based on where that enemy is going to determine. You could get hit like 1 out of maybe 150 tries or something. I've been hit before. Also worth noting that there are branches in the lower section here, but I don't know if any of these runners are going to grab them.
I mean,
Jerome, how many branches do you use in this section?
Well, I don't use branches in Cathedral because they're too valuable. Mm-hmm. But I probably use like 20 in my all boss or all content run. I just love the branches.
I mean, Jerome, you are the leader of the White Branch cult.
Oh, absolutely.
What's your favorite branch disguise?
That's a really good question. I think there's one that's right before the Prince's, where it's a gargoyle, a little mini gargoyle holding a really large ball, and that's probably my favorite.
I'm
for Ice Cream Grandpa.
I'm personally a fan of the footstool.
Oh yeah.
The footstool.
The chandelier is great too, and the little candle light thing.
Eden almost got Goomba stomped by a Grave Warden. That was terrifying.
I've seen people lose a run to that before.
Yeah, so there's a little trick there. If you turn your camera upwards, then the lady will not fall on you. But if you don't do that, then sometimes she'll just fall on you, which is great.
See, to me, that's one of the drawbacks to DS3 is like the teleporting dogs, the fact that your camera position can impact the way the enemies interact with you. To me, that's kind of like a big risk.
So my understanding is that it was an attempt at optimizing the game better, where they're like, okay, if you're not looking at an enemy, we just won't render it, and its movement will be determined by this other algorithm or whatever. And that leads to a lot of problems, and the game isn't optimized very well for PC anyways, so okay.
Yeah, but 20 frames per second on console is just rough in this game.
Maybe it's just poorly optimized all around.
That's very
But,
possible.
It's a great game. It's fun to no-hit.
The fact that we're willing to put up with such like rough optimizations in some cases, that goes to show just how good these games are.
And like really all the Souls games have their little quirks, like ooh, hang on.
Oh, Tricky
We may
got
have
hit.
Seen a hit on Wolnir.
Did somebody want to grab a clip for that?
I'm looking for it right now.
Oh no. Yeah, Wolnir can be a real mess. It's almost always a fog, though.
I would guess it was a
much
fog.
never the
kill.
hand.
I think the hand would have killed him.
Yeah, it's always the fog. The fog position is really just really weird and kind of buggy.
Oh, it was the fog. Yep.
So, what do we call this giant that Eden is dealing with right now? What's his name?
He's just, the giant that throws poop at you, depending on your route.
Soulmass says Jeff.
I think I've heard Jeff before.
Thank you guys for the clips.
I'm not sure what
Looks like we
happened
have
to
a
that,
couple rolling
clip.
in.
He
I'm
just
looking.
rolled in and got hit by the fog. I don't know the fog's position well enough.
I think the roll that he did took him just slightly farther than he wanted to go.
That's really tight, though. The difference there is minuscule.
Yeah, and
Unfortunate.
you can see there's no fog where he's standing. It's just that there was a hitbox there.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. But one hit is still more than fine, and I don't really see him taking more hits as long. I know he's mentally like a strong runner, so should have pretty likely he won't take another hit. So that may not be a big deal.
I mean, Tricky is like the definition of grace under pressure. So like,
yeah, he's one of the best runners. These are four just amazing runners. Like they're all doing incredible stuff.
100%. If any of you guys don't follow them, you should today. They're all amazing gentlemen. Super fun to sit and chat with.
Absolutely. I mean, I would honestly recommend just unfollow me, go over to them, and follow them up. And
also follow up Jerome for his crazy
No.
shenanigans. They're lots of fun.
So, has there been anything new
World
with the Deacon technology in the last couple of months? I have not kept up too well. But has anything cool happened with Deacons? Anyone finally figured out how to make this fight not annoying? Oh, I suppose Skulls. Never mind.
Skulls phase 1 are good, but then you got to go to like Rosaria, and like a lot of people don't like doing that. I would be. Well, okay. Sorry.
Ooh, Eden just dropped down. That was really cool. Did you see that?
Tricky might get Skulls.
I love that
Tricky
Eden
does
down the lower
typically
area.
use skulls for deacons. I think Gino, of all four of the runners that we'll see, uses the least amount of skulls for deacons. I don't know if he'll play it a little extra safe because of his controller in the tournament today, though. So we'll see. This will be interesting.
So Eden dropped down into the swap area and saved a little time. I like that. I don't know how he did that. I don't remember why I never did that. He killed the giant and then just dropped straight down. I've never even thought to do that.
I'm trying to think if there's like any risk in doing that.
I don't think so.
I don't
there's
think
a
there
thrall.
is, no.
There's a
the
somewhere.
thrall. Yeah, the thrall for sure.
My question is, what is Eden doing?
So he's opening up Rosaria's door so he can get all the skulls. So he can have 10 skulls for deacons. So he's basically he's accelerated when he's going to get the skulls. Before it would have been after you get past the Pontiff Feast fog door. But now he's going to have them for Deacons. So his fight's going to be 100%.
Looks like Tricky's going into Sage.
And sounds like he takes an interesting route to get to Sage. He took like an old school like hop style route, which I thought was interesting. He's always done that. Really bad RNG to open up. This is the worst case scenario.
But he's handling it just fine.
Oh yeah, they're great. It looks like another double parry strat.
Oh, flash sword.
Important to always be pressed up against her, which she does perfectly, because the orbs that she's firing off have a pretty big hitbox, and if you're not right up against her, they can actually clip you with the bottom of the orb. So that's something that everybody gets hit by at least once.
It's Deacon's NASCAR.
Yes.
Yep, and Gino doesn't have the skulls to make this safe, so this could be this is pretty likely. If he's going to take a hit, this would be where it would be.
We got two people
Distraction Crab going into Sage too.
Yep.
Yep, everybody's doing the parry strat. This is a really smart move.
It seems like everybody got the bad RNG too.
Yeah, terrible RNG.
At this point,
parry.
all 4 runners have basically gotten to Sage.
Yeah, and in very good time as well. Distraction Crab with the resets, but he's still like moving along real fast. And yeah, Gino, if he's gonna take a hit, this is really. It doesn't look like what he's doing is difficult, but it's just very high risk. Like even if it's like let's say like a 1% chance, it's still higher than if he did Cinder for 2 hours or something. You know, this is there's just an RNG element to this. No matter how you set these Deacons up, and there are a lot of little tricks you can do to make them more consistent. There's always going to be just that odd chance of something happening. I know V-Squad kind of pioneered some pretty interesting things for Deacons, based on basically just understanding that if they're not looking at you, then it's pretty much safe to go in. So you can kind of set them up in a way where you have them all looking at you like Gino does now, and then you change your acceleration, like you're gonna go really fast behind them, sprint behind them, and then clip them with like the back of your sword.
Yeah.
Because your sword has a hitbox that extends like further than the visual look of the sword. So you can basically remove your body from the equation when you're going in for a hit, which is a really smart way to do it.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, he kind of figured out that you could see exactly which Deacons were going to attack you, because the ones that are able to attack you turn faster than the ones that are not able to attack you. And
wow, that's
like
new.
A
I didn't know that.
maximum of 5 can be aggroed to you at one time.
That's fascinating.
Yeah. I believe that's correct. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
That's something. I feel like there's something to that. I do not know 100%. This is all a little new to me. I know there can be more than 5 fireballs at once. I know I've seen a lot of fireballs, but the attacking thing, that's really fascinating. I would love to. Yeah, that's actually, it's really interesting.
I do want to take a moment here and thank Jerome for all the help that he's provided Zero and myself in regards to getting this tournament set up.
Well, I mean, I didn't do too much. You guys are doing an amazing job, and it's just really awesome that this is happening. I definitely should have hosted something more recently. You know, I feel like I kind of just didn't really do anything, went kind of dark, so I apologize for that. But it's really awesome you guys are doing this. It's really good for the community, and you're all amazing.
Well, Jerome, you've done a shit ton for the community in the past, so you even being here, I know it means a lot to everybody to see you here in this tournament. So thank you for being here and for helping cast.
Well, honestly, I'm here because I like watching these tournaments. Like adding stakes to this is always the perfect thing, because these runners have just gotten almost too good at the runs. But when you can add stakes and make it competitive, then it becomes really good. Like there's a lot of tournaments that still need to happen. Like a DS2 all boss tournament would be perfect. It's like a nice 8-hour tournament.
Bloodborne Wheel of Pog would be a lot of fun to see.
Oh yeah.
I know a
Feel
certain
free.
Goes on Ghost in the chat would love to see that as well.
I can tell you which wheels not to buy on Amazon. If that
Which
helps.
wheels not to buy? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to spin them super vigorously. You know, you just give them a little
To
flick
be
of the
honest,
wrist.
I think you are supposed to, and I bought a bad wheel.
Okay, I see.
I thought it was just that it was rigged.
I just want to say that I did think up kind of a name for this, because Zero and I don't want to like steal all the glory from Jerome by just saying, oh, we're doing new Pog League, that kind of stuff. But I did come up with a name today for a Wheel of Pog-esque tournament for DS3.
Okay, what you got?
Oh my.
Cinder's Game.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. That's perfect. That's better than Wheel of Pog. So Eden actually was breaking candlesticks, which is a funny thing that a lot of runners do.
What is going on with Eden's stream?
Oh no, it looks like we're getting some lag from
dropping
Eden.
a little bit of frames.
Okay, I just want to make sure that wasn't just me.
Oh no.
No, that's on his end.
Oh man, is that Squilla Kill in the chat?
It is Squilla Kill in chat with the host. Squilla, thank you so much for the host. How was your speedrun, Squilla?
Oh, and GG earlier, by the way.
Yes, GG earlier. Very nicely done.
It was a heck of a run, and like super speedy on top of that. The speed run shows.
Yeah, an hour 50, huh? Something like that. Almost too fast. Illegally fast.
We can't make the joke that this is a spliced run from Eden, can we?
Well, it'd be really hard to splice in a Deacon's fight, with another Deacon's fight, and then he'd probably be wearing a different outfit. So I think if he's wearing a completely different shirt when he comes back, then we can be suspicious.
I mean, his tie is in a very slightly different position now.
Yeah, you're making some good points.
Eden killed Deacons. Do I need to refresh that?
He's still good.
You could just right click on the player, yeah, and then refresh it.
Yeah, 1 sec.
Should be.
I will poke at it.
Oh, Gino with the ice cream grandpa. That means he's not taking a hit the rest of the run. Incredible luck from him. That's a 50-50 chance.
We're gonna bounce.
Smoothed out for Eden now.
Eden stream real fast. Let's see if that works.
And distraction crab going for the giant kill as well.
There we go.
These runners are much better getting 2 hits off than I ever was. And then the way you get the 2 hits off, you have to run in. There's a lot of different strategies for this. I know Vinny Vega has a really good strategy where you basically stand on the right side, like up front, and you can get extra hits in. But you have to learn the different roll timings.
Does he just roll the slams?
Yeah. And
wow.
It's just it's more efficient. You get more hits in. Running in the way Distraction Crab is doing it is also really efficient. I always would roll in because I just didn't really understand the attacks well enough, and I was just really scared. But yeah, he did it really nicely. Double ice cream grandpa, by the way. I wanted to point that out.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
V-Sweat W.
Last run with the ice cream grandpa.
Oh man, Distraction Crab is just like so methodical and safe, and like it feels like nothing is left to chance. And that is so cool to see.
Yeah, I would be pretty surprised if he took a hit until some of these really hard later bosses.
Right.
I don't know how clean his Princes is, for example, his Osiris. I know we were talking the other day about his runs and everything, and he has the 1-hit PB. I do not know where that hit was, and it does matter where it was, because if it was super early, then that does affect his mentality in this run. But if it was really late, then he may actually get the run tonight. Which would be awesome.
Have we ever seen somebody get a run in one of these tournaments for the first time?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have. I'm trying to remember who it was, but
we've seen a lot of PBs, like honestly, probably dozens of people getting like the best run they've ever had. Mm-hmm. I do not know if we've seen. I mean, I remember weirdly enough, Squilla did get a 0-hit all content run, but he had already done that. But that's like the most memorable one I can remember.
Well, I think
I actually remember that tournament.
That we did not have any.
Oh, right. There were a lot of Sekiro PB, like zero death runs in the McRaptor hosted a tournament.
That's right.
And a lot of people got like 0 death runs, and those were the first ever.
Apparently, Papa Finn got his during a DS2 tournament.
Well, I
just amazing.
I just want to call out that that we did not have any no-hit runs earlier in the first bracket.
Yeah, but I feel like we're gonna get one now, and it's especially because Gino has gotten past Deacons, which at pretty much any tournament, if you get past Deacons and you're a really consistent runner, like that's, I don't know what his most likely point is. It's going to be something unexpected, though. It's something completely out of left field.
The back half of this run is just so consistent. So like, unless something happens on Cinder, I would expect. I don't know. There's not a lot of like weirdness unless like a meme happens or like if a controller, you know, fluke happens. I've just caster cursed everyone. Oh god.
See what you did, Zero? What are we gonna do now?
If we could have expected a 0-hit run before, we won't now. Oh, Gino's splits have a hit on them. Is that a no? That looks like a PB. Yeah, that's on his PB column.
Yeah.
He's on 0 hits right now.
So sounds tricky. Has no problems at all with the Deacons fight. So just distraction crab left. The last Deacons of this round. I'd be interested to see which, if Eden or Gino does like their orders for Pontiff and Yorm, because that can impact things. And also, is everybody going to be using the Storm Ruler on Yorm? Because that's really this fight is a lot harder in SL1. If you're not going to use the Storm Ruler.
So. I think that at least Gino, Eden, and Tricky prefer the Storm Ruler.
Yeah. But the Storm Ruler comes with a whole set of challenges that you have to really master that fight. Like it's weirdly the floor of the fight, but with a Storm Ruler is a lot. It's a lot easier to learn that fight with a Storm Ruler than it is to learn it with Twin Blades or your Broadsword. But the actual like amount of things you have to learn is much higher if you want to be consistent. And whereas like a Twin Blade or Broadsword,
is so high.
Yeah. And the Twin Blades or Broadsword, like once you learn the fight, you're done. Like you just have to make sure you're awake enough to roll the stop.
I wonder if we're gonna see Eden roll the Jailer Drains.
Oh no!
Because I know he does that on his runs.
We did see that Jailer Drain hit earlier.
To Squilla, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the third Ice Cream Grandpa in a row, which means if we get 4, then they're all going to be taking 0 hits the rest of the way.
That's right.
I mean, this tournament is blessed.
At least 75% blessed.
So Gino's going to be doing that cool rolling jump, right? Or if he's using Spook, which he is.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, that is so cool.
So comfy.
So one thing I would kind of want to ask chat in general is how many people are unfamiliar with no-hit runs or challenge runs in general? Because I think
this is a category of.
I've actually never heard of a no-hit run. What could you elaborate?
Could I elaborate? Okay. So what we consider to be a no-hit run is we're playing through Dark Souls. In this case, this is Dark Souls 3. We're calling it vanilla, which means you're playing through all of the base game bosses, and you're doing your best not to get hit.
What's Dark Souls?
What's Dark Souls? Well, I have no idea. I heard it was a game by some guy kind of named Miyazaki. Is that how you say that?
I think it's Miyazaki.
Miyazaki. Okay.
Miyazaki. Yes. Yep.
Miyazaki. Okay.
And we've mentioned he who must not be named now, so caster curse has been doubled.
That's right. But yeah, so no hit runs are you're basically trying to play through the game. In this case, we're telling the runners they have to defeat all of the bosses in the base game without getting hit. And so, Jerome, do you want to classify what a hit is and what a hit is not? Yeah.
So basically, if an enemy hits you, like an actual enemy, like I'm talking something that's moving around and not like, for example, so let's say a fire, for example, it does not count as a hit. Even though a lot of people that you would come into chat and be like, oh, that's a hit. No, it has to be a direct like hit from an enemy. And there's a lot of basically if a hit can't be avoided after you take a first hit, then it only counts as one. So let's say you get hit like 4 times really, really, really quickly, but you couldn't have rolled any of the next 3 after the first one. That's only 1 hit, and at least that's how traditionally it is. Because it doesn't really make sense to punish you for 1 mistake. It's kind of basically a hit is a mistake, is the way I've always looked at it.
Okay, and what if an enemy like staggers me but doesn't cause me any damage?
Yeah, so that would also be a hit, and because that's something you could have avoided technically, and it's because it's an enemy though. So for example, let's say like a fire is something you could have avoided, but it's also not. It's not an enemy, so it wouldn't count as a hit.
So a stagger is something that we see very commonly on Yorm, which Gmo is doing right now. Yorm has a move where he does a stomp after he gets staggered that can stagger the player but not cause any damage. So in that situation, I know a lot of runners will count that as a hit and have to count that as a hit, right?
Yes.
Eden's fighting phase 2 Pontiff right now.
As well as, I don't know if a lot of people who are not familiar with no-hit runs, no blocking is allowed. So you can't block an attack from an enemy. You have to perfect parry that attack.
Correct.
Right, yeah. A block is a hit, for sure.
Yeah, block
so this is really fascinating. Distraction Crab going in on Abyss Watchers now. Really cool order he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did Sage first.
So this is going to give him a lot of extra damage, right? Or does it affect it at all? I wonder. What his weapon upgrade is right now.
He picked up one more or 2 more large shards from the giant. I think it's 1 large shard that the giant drops. But I don't know why else he would go that way.
Now, the one thing I want to call out there was, I don't know if anybody else caught it, but Eden was in phase 2 Pontiff. And
yeah, he parried phase 2 Pontiff.
He parried phase 2 Pontiff, but the key thing about that was we'll call it the Pontiff Shadow attacks first. And so he rolled through the Pontiff Shadow attack to parry Pontiff and get the riposte.
Yeah, really good
that's a really, really cool strat to do. That's how people always explained it to me, and I never was able to understand how to do it, so...
Typically runners don't like to see that shadow, and maybe they'll even bone out if they see it. So
it's very on Gino here.
So Gino rolled in on the final phase transition attack, which is a nice little speed run type thing to get in there quicker. And he's just going to town.
I'm working on this run myself. Not this exact run, DS3 and 8%, but it's like Dancer is kind of a tricky one to get down, and to be applying speedrun strats on top of that. I
think it's one of the best fights in the game, and it's really weird game design because it's almost like a tutorial fight for the rest of the game, but it's kind of meant to be done at the end. So it's really weird, how they expect you to do the game. Because Dancer teaches you everything. It teaches you about positioning, about like not over punishing. There's just so many cool things to learn from that fight, and it's kind of expected to be done at the end. That's kind of how the game was designed. So I really can appreciate that fight. I think it's one of the best 3 or 4 fights in the game.
And it's extremely consistent too, where you look at an early game boss like Deacons, and their behavior is extremely inconsistent. So I don't know, it's interesting, that kind of duality there.
Yeah, but that being said, Dancer is one of the hardest fights to learn because there's so many things being thrown at you. On top of that, she basically is going to 1 or 2 hit you when you're practicing. So it's just a constant run back, learn her first phase for 40 hours or 20 hours. And then finally you get into phase 2, you get 1 hit again, you run back. It's just a very long process of learning when you're starting out.
Oh man, nobody did Dancer second.
Nobody did Dancer second, which is in the finals, if Gino and Eden and Soundstricky and Distraction Crab, if they make it, we might see somebody doing Dancer real early.
Ooh, really? Oh, we got Gino doing early Osiris.
Oh man. Well, the thing
This is cool.
I want to call out is Distraction Crab just went for Kartha's Blood Ring. I don't think we saw anybody in the early bracket.
Yeah, not only did he go for it, he also boned out after getting it, which is a really cool way to do that. I don't know if that's 100% safe, but I assume it must be the way he's doing it. So, never seen anybody do that.
There's the slugs that drop on you right away.
Yeah, and then one fell down and he just boned out. Really like how Gino plays this right in front. This is definitely how I started doing it as well. Just the phase one is actually really easy, but there are some attacks that actually have two timings. So like, let's say he jumps in the air and slams his staff down. His feet and his staff have different roll timings. So you will have to learn multiple, like depending on where you are, you have to decide how you're going to roll things.
I thought everybody just panicked rolled all the time with Osiris.
Yes.
Just always panic roll.
But you got if you are especially Dino Senegal, you're really gonna watch out for Osiris's ball sack.
You cut out Osiris's what attack?
You gotta watch out for Osiris's ball sack.
Oh my, yeah, it's always a concern.
Yeah,
really beautiful roll from Gino.
It's just there.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. He knows exactly what he's doing.
So we've realized that people either fall on, that insta charge roll, but with Osiris, people either seem to love him a lot or hate him a lot. Where do y'all land on this?
I had no horse in the game.
The few times I fought Osiris, I was fascinated by his moveset.
We've got 3 bosses going on right now.
Oh my god!
We do have 3 bosses. This is amazing.
3 different
He's
bosses.
on Pontiff.
Do we think strategy? Well, I don't even know what's happening.
Oh, so it is second phase. So we are seeing second phase Pontiff again?
Which I don't think we saw second phase Pontiff in early bracket, really. Because everybody just kind of...
He doesn't have his parry shield out either.
Oh! Tricky just got hit.
Oh, no.
And Eden just did a crazy phase 1 roll. He rolled the double swipe attack, and he rolled into it, which was really cool. I've never seen... maybe Gino does that, but that's so crazy. It's like a speedrun thing again, I would assume.
So I don't know if I would call this one hit or two, because he wasn't stagger locked into the second hit. He counted it as 2.
We can take a look at it.
Eden really having a great Aldrich fight. This is I really like the way. Yeah, that was clean. That was beautiful. Perfect.
Now we've got Gino going into Gundyr. And Distraction
Crab. This is a downside of having Walner be so late. This is not a fight you want to do really late. There's just the odds of something happening are low, but I wouldn't want to do this after doing a bunch of other hard fights like Deacons. It would be stressful.
Right. Well, I mean, it does go to show, doing those stressful, the hard fights, one after another, that can actually pay off.
It can, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to have gotten all the way here just to get hit by Wolnir. So I mean, it makes sense in a tournament where he's not expecting to get hit, but my gosh, I'd be stressed out. I do not like Wolnir that much.
Okay, I'm gonna review this tricky hit real fast.
Yeah. Ooh, so Eden's going through the dungeon. I wonder if he's gonna roll.
I'm excited for this.
Like Gino is headed up to Archdragon Peak now, instead of doing Champion Gundyr.
He's rolling the drains.
So
that's so awesome. Did he get drained though? Kind of.
Nope.
The animation was there.
The thing about
nope.
That's awesome.
We're gonna count that as 2 hits on Tricky, and the reason why is because he got hit and then he rolled and got hit a second time.
Oh, okay.
So if he was to have rolled a different direction, he possibly could have avoided that second hit.
That rolling the jailer is so cool. I've never really seen anybody do that.
And the cool thing is the particle effect shows up before it actually hits you, so you get a little bit of
looks like you get drained.
So you start to see it and you're like, oh god, I gotta roll. So really
Yeah,
well
so
done.
this now textbook. He finally got. I don't know what if he missed a hit or just got really unlucky. But
I think he missed a hit on the first Pontiff fight.
yeah, because there was
right
no way he
during the
wanted that.
transition.
Yeah, there was no way he wanted to be in that phase 2.
Right.
But he knows phase 2, so he just got unlucky.
Gino's
Did he
already
carry with the mid shoot?
The tough thing to worry about with this Wyvern coming up, you don't want to get hit by the tail. So you gotta kind of, if the tail is in a certain position, you gotta be ready for it.
Oh god, the camera.
So Wyvern skip is one of my possibly favorite skips in this entire game. One, because of the innuendos some of the runners throw in there. Two, gotta get the good head. Oh, he got the good head. It's a lot trickier than it actually looks to pull that off.
Yeah.
So these runners have hours upon hours of practice doing that. But to actually get it done, it takes so much practice.
We got Eden
I love
going
it though.
Yorm.
I love the Wyvern skip. If any new runners are out there and want to do that skip, I would highly recommend. This is something I've never heard anyone talk about. But you kill the Wyvern and then go back all the way back through, all the way around again, and to his empty arena, and then just make like a save file there, and just like literally just practice in his empty arena, and you won't be stressed out. So you can actually practice the little like finger flick thing you have to do when you're jumping off the ledge. I definitely recommend like an empty arena, so you don't get, because it just gets stressful when the Wyvern keeps hitting, like trying to kill you. So definitely recommend that.
So
I'm really I'm scared of this Yorm fight, by the way, with Storm Ruler. It's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
But Eden's an expert, and he won't get hit.
So that's exactly what you want to hope for, I think, in this fight, is for that stagger in between phases, because it gives you just enough time to charge up Storm Ruler.
Yeah, so Yorm can actually transition phases very early. Like he can transition phases. He can go into phase 2 after the first Storm Ruler hit. So it can definitely be a little scary.
And Distraction Crab is in a little bit of a sketchy situation. Wait, what? I swear to God, he was in. I thought he was in. Never mind. Disregard. Gino. I was looking at Gino. Gino's at Nameless King.
Oh, here we go. Oh, he's picking up the ashes.
Yeah, this is I hate the strategy, but it's very cool. So
what do these ashes provide you when you pick them up?
So this is gonna give you chunks, right? I mean, I should probably know this.
Chunks
lightning, it's gonna allow you to upgrade
white
without.
branches.
Aha.
No, the white branches come from the
Oh,
Xanthus ashes.
Xanthus. And you are the expert. You would know.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a must-have ash for any runner. Take 10 minutes out of your day, grab that one, and
Yeah.
So who did Eden just kill?
That's Emma.
He just was slashing at the lady.
The old lady.
yeah.
She didn't do anything wrong, but
Poor Emma. She gets bullied by all these no-hit runners.
She deserves
She's just
what
there
she
trying to be helpful.
she does.
Tricky is in the Aldrich fight. Eden's in the Dancer fight.
I find Aldrich to be much less consistent than Dancer, because there are
do not like Aldrich.
weird animation hitches she'll have. So that on the surface that doesn't make a lot of sense, but basically she charges towards you with some of her attacks, and she can like get stuck on the terrain, and it'll change like the speed at which she comes towards you, which is really awful when you're most of your run is done on pure muscle memory, and then you have to like eyeball a roll, which is not really what most people are practicing, you know.
So
I think I understand what happened with Tricky's Pontiff now. He's on +4.
Oh, really? +4
I
SL1.
think. Unless he's at +6. But he's not at +7, I'm pretty sure.
you think the damage, the lack of damage is what got him there?
So +4 Pontiff is very, very, very hard to do. And
It
that
just
would make
removes
sense.
any
if that
room
was
for
low.
error as well. If he like missed an attack, that would really be a big problem.
Yeah, one attack missed and you're stuck in phase 2.
So Zero, you recently came up. with a very, very fun Pontiff strat. Do you want to tell us
This might be
about
true.
that? It is definitely true.
Well, let me just tell you, it's a very crappy strat. It involves. So originally, I came up with this because I wanted to come up with a phase 1 or like a quick kill for Pontiff at SL1, no upgrades, no infusions. And the thing that we kind of landed on was you pick up the excrement covered ashes, you buy a bunch of poop, buy a bunch of dung pies, and you toxic Pontiff, and then you poison him, and then you bleed him. And with all these status effects, you can actually get a quick kill on him. And if what little bit of health he has left after his phase transition, you can just walk away. He's a dead man walking at that point.
So
Really fun strat.
Turns a 15-minute Pontiff fight into basically a 2-minute Pontiff fight.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes. Yeah, basically.
That sounds
but it
really
does
cool.
require
I
like
kind
10
of want to see that in action. Any of the runners going to be pulling that off tonight?
No.
No.
That's a zero salt special. Thank you very much.
It's like I can't remember if it's 7 or 8 parries. Something. It's
You
like
know what
6
I'm
parries
looking forward to, and this is something that maybe Gino could do, and we wouldn't even know it, but he probably already did it. It's the blindfolded Pontiff. That's to me, that's the epitome of Pontiff.
I want to see
Because
that.
you can actually do it based on the audio cues. The problem is that if you don't have the dead zone mod thing for your controller, then your character actually won't run straight. Like when you're not looking at it, believe it or not, like your character doesn't want to run straight, even if you hold the controller forward for whatever reason.
Let's take a moment
like little.
to appreciate the fact that we've got a Dancer fight, an Osiris fight, and a Greatwood fight.
I
All
love
these
the
fights
variety
are
we're seeing.
scary as hell for me. I really hate the Greatwood fight. It is a fight that no runner ever practices, ever. So it is a fight that if anything goes wrong, you are gonna get hit.
Well, I mean, it is just tree balls. I think even I could do tree balls no hit, and that's saying something.
Oh yeah, Charlie, backing me up on that. Yeah, the controllers have a dead zone situation where you can't actually run straight if you're. So Eden's really good at this fight, by the way, like really good. And he is putting in absolute work. You can tell,
Absolutely.
basically, like a new runner during this fight, they're gonna, even if they get the no hit, there's gonna be situations where they could have gotten hit. Like there's gonna be that, like here, that was like pretty much perfect. There might have been like a frame he could have gotten hit, but pretty much no.
Yeah, he saw a situation where he wasn't going to be able to get back in front of him in time, so he backed up. That was really smart.
And there's like a new no hit runner. You can get a no hit on this fight without doing it completely properly, and not necessarily like it takes a really good runner to recognize when you made the mistake. Like if you're in front of his leg at all, then he'll think you're in front of him and he'll charge. So the positioning is like crazy important.
Jerome, the cops are coming.
They're calling the cops.
The
Oh
cops are
god,
coming.
the cops!
They realize
Everybody
he's
scram,
here.
scatter.
Scatter.
For whatever reason, I didn't feel like Gino took this long. This feels really scary to me, but
All right,
Oh.
so Eden took
that's
care
staggering.
of Osiris just fine. Now Gino's taking care of Gundyr in the early days.
and
Gundyr
doing really
doesn't
cool
take
parries.
riposte either, because it's more damage to not riposte. That's pretty cool.
Is it really?
Yeah. And it's faster, I will say. It might not be more damage, but he stands up faster, which means you can hit him faster. Everything
Gino has
does
always
here,
parried a very unique attack that pretty much no other runner does. He would parry the pokes, which pretty much no one else does. I mean, it's all about how you learn the fight.
Yeah.
But you see, he parries everything. He's parrying jumps. He's parrying the charging spin thing.
Oh,
That's just
Oh, that was close.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who saw that.
fun fact. Gino lost an SL1 no upgrades or infusion run to basically that exact situation. He had such low
Wow.
damage that he went in to like get a greed hit and didn't kill the mob. It's the exact same situation.
He counted a hit. Oh, he
Yeah,
got
I
hit?
Did
Did
he?
it hit him?
Can someone get a clip of that and review it?
Was he not in a red tearstone ring? Because he would have died.
Where did he get hit? He missed the very first parry.
Oh.
I maintain that Champion Gundyr is one of the hardest fights because it's so mental. You just hitting those parries consistently.
Wow.
It's like Pontiff, but without the nice like setup timings. Like Pontiff has audio cues, and Gundyr's audio cues like are kind of terrible. You can do Gundyr blindfolded, but it's not gonna be a great time.
Kind of cool
Well,
that the
It looks like
the missed
Crab
parry,
got a
though.
hit as well.
Oh, really? To Deacons.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The hits are racking up.
Yeah.
can we get clips for those?
I'd love to know what would get in at this point. So I know one hit is definitely in from Dino. Do we know if 2 hits makes it in as well?
Well, it's gonna depend because right now Dino is with 1 hit. We had Squilla with 3, and Kazoodle with 4.
So, as it stands at this very moment, we've got Distraction Crab, Eden, Gino, and Dino, our top 4, if things remain the same, if nothing changes for the rest of these runs.
Right.
I actually kind of had forgotten how long that Osiris fight is. After watching Eden, I'm pretty sure someone's taking a hit on Osiris. That fight is brutally long and very, very hard. I mean, I know these runners are amazing, but I know if I had to do that fight that long, I'd take a hit half the time. So let's see the Gino parry strat. He usually rolls the opener. Doesn't like the...
Oh, me.
Oh, he apparently doesn't roll the opener.
Oh, Tricky's going into fight as well.
All these fights are like, they're all different fights lining up at the same time.
Right, right.
Mhm.
And so it's like it's hard for us to just be able to like focus on one fight at a time because you want to see both of them.
God, Gino is playing that beautifully.
Well, you guys don't
Sorry,
have 4 eyes? You can't watch all the streams separately?
I
only have
appreciate
3.
that joke so much.
Oh, so Distraction Crab's hit was he got Goomba stomped on the Dragon Barrack stairs
Oh no.
because his camera wasn't facing the Great Axe Hollow.
Oh, really? That's rough. That's why, yeah, I've always skulled there. That being said, I completely understand why you wouldn't, because it's just kind of...
Skull.
You did? Oh, no.
He
Well,
skulled,
I'm gonna...
and it landed
I'm
on his
scared.
head anyways.
Jerome's like he's
Well,
got to
disregard.
change his strats now.
Yeah, I mean, when I come back, inevitably, I'm gonna have to my strats.
That's
honestly
that's
the
a
scariest
huge
thing.
meme hit.
I mean, Jerome will come up with a diss track for that one particular hollow in Dragon Barracks.
There's no worse feeling in the world than doing something you've known as consistent for years or months or whatever, and then you get hit by it, and it's just like your whole world starts crashing down. What do you believe anymore? It's not good.
Right.
It's tricky with a very, very clean dancer fight. I think that's one of his strongest fights in this entire game, probably.
Distraction Crab going at the I don't know, what are these called? The Puss of Man?
Puss of
The
Man,
large
Mhm.
wyvern looking guy. Cool
He's getting the
strategy.
chunks.
Well,
Yeah, get some chunks and
the thing I found kind
souls,
of
right?
interesting about this is he got behind it, and
yeah, this is a cool position. I've never seen this. I was like, where is he? Is he on wyvern? Is he doing wyvern? I don't even know where he was.
yeah, that's
very
what I thought at first
confusing.
too. But the thing about that is the Puss of Man has a kind of acid spew
he's killing
attack
the other one,
that will
too.
curse you right away. And
Yeah,
like
not super fun to not fun to fight. There was a way to incapacitate them, right? Are they weak to fire? Or?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're
just throw
fire, yeah.
bombs out.
Mm-hmm.
So Distraction Crab is killing the second Puss of Man by throwing firebombs from down here. This is incredible.
This is
legit.
incredible.
This
This
is very
is so cool to see.
My God, the Kobe's.
How many
Just
Kobe's
lined
is
up
this?
perfectly, one after another.
I want to be honest. He's taking this kill every enemy run and he's implementing it into the tournament pretty well.
Mhm.
Hey,
I mean, he gets upgrade materials and he gets buffs, and I mean,
it was tricky.
Slow and
going.
It's
steady.
worth it.
Tricky's doing Osiris. Let's go.
This fight is a Widowmaker.
This is like one. This might actually be Tricky's best fight.
Osiris.
It's so
Mhm.
hard.
Yeah.
This fight is It's almost there's like 2 fights that require like complete attention, maybe 3. Abyss Watchers, this fight, and I guess Cinder as well. Just like complete. You can't look away for even like a second.
Can we just?
Eden's still on 0.
I'm very aware of which fights require the most attention because I like to look at the chat while I'm doing the run, and you can't do that with this fight. You look over for a second, it's over. Oh, he's doing great though. A little bit. He's in a corner though. I don't love his positioning.
Could this be a cheese strat?
I think he's gotten lucky with this.
Nah, he's gonna fight him straight up.
Oh, things are going well.
Oh.
None of this is what I wanted, by the way.
That every boss should be fought in Rom's arena.
Oh.
Yeah, we should just have a standardized size for arenas, much like baseball stadiums or something.
So you have plenty of space to move around.
Yeah, plenty of space. No weird like stones or like I don't know boxes or heads on the ground or something.
Imagine Capra Demon if you had him in Rom's arena. How easy would that fight be?
Oh my lord!
Wow, awesome fight though from Sounds Tricky, just fantastic. Oh, it's not over yet. I shouldn't have said that.
There it is. And now we got Gino in the Aldrich fight.
Gino's boss order is so cool. Everything that Gino does in his runs is like it's all about time efficiency.
I can respect that, but time. What people don't understand is when you're trading in time when making the run faster, you're making it harder. And
way harder.
I mean, almost less consistent. Obviously, when you're as good as these guys are, it doesn't matter that much. But I found it to always and it also changed my mindset. The faster you want to go, the more reckless I would take things, and I wouldn't even stick to my strats properly. It's hard to separate the idea of speed and safety and properly weigh them together.
Can we? Distraction Crab is tossing out the skulls left and right and center, man. He's not.
Yeah, there's something really cool I'm noticing about Distraction Crab's route, where he has taken each of the paths, and he has basically extended those paths out as far as he can until they reach a boss that would be unreasonable to fight. So he extended. He went all the way to DSA. He went all the way to. Let's see, he's done Wolnir already too. And he's basically just picked up all of these like upgrade materials and buffs and stuff so that he has all of the resources necessary to make these bosses as consistent as possible.
I would also assume that this is
Did Gino just get hit? Gino got hit.
Oh my god.
Ooh, what happened? Hollow?
So where he's currently at, he got stabbed at the bottom of the first set of stairs.
Wow. Wonder if he just tried to run past the guy instead of killing him. Because knowing Gino, he would do that.
Yeah, let's
he
doesn't
the hardest.
He doesn't believe in doing boring things like killing the enemies. I've never seen him get hit there though. I mean, he's really good at dodging.
Okay, Eden's going
was it a mistimed
DSA
roll?
SL1 DSA. Not an easy fight.
A lot of this fight comes down to audio, knowing the audio cues. But also, these runners have all gotten a lot better since the last time I did this run. They're all strafing attacks and just a lot cleaner. Everyone's skill cap has gone. Everyone's much better at this game now. Pinned on a wall, huh?
You can definitely see the SL1 no upgrades, no infusions coming through in this DSA fight too, with how much Eden is strafing and how aggressive he's playing it.
Complete confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Min-maxing it. Getting hits off in places I would never get. Like that strafe was crazy. This couple seconds ago was crazy.
Meanwhile, they're always monitoring their position in the arena so that they have room to run from the butterfly's attacks.
Yes, and also, this is normally in SL1, if you're new to the run, this is like a 4-minute fight, and he's already, it's been less than a minute, and he's already got only a couple hits left. Mm-hmm. This shows how aggressive he's, look at the crazy aggression.
We also have Gino in this fight.
Beautiful. GG Eden.
That was really fast.
Very nicely done.
Gino also really fast.
Yep.
These fights are actually long if you do them the way traditionally most no-hit runners do them. the reason they're so fast with these runners is because they're punishing a lot more than just a standard single punish attack.
Do you think that the fact that the tiebreaker is in game time is causing them to take a little bit more risk than they normally would?
Oh, 100%. It completely affects your mindset in a pretty significant way. I was in a couple of tournaments and I completely threw them because I was like, I got to go faster. And it does affect you.
I think the other part of it too is a lot of our runners in this matchup have been doing a lot of speed runs outside of no-hit runs. So they're used to being hyper aggressive in some of these fights. And when you put the two together, I think you can get just comfortable enough where you can go really fast, but still play it safe.
I'm not entirely sure the comfort is there. I feel like it's really hard to separate speed running and no-hit running. And I don't know. It's almost impossible. I never was able to do it. If I was going fast, I would just take unbelievable risk and just sprint past things. I couldn't do a fight. If I knew there was a clock on it, I couldn't do the fight as safely as if I thought I could take my time. It's just a mental thing.
Difficult. As like perspective, the regular no-hit speedrun world record right now is around 55 minutes. It's absolutely insane. To be able to do no-hit and speedrunning at the same time.
What
Gino holds that record, right?
What category is that?
Oh,
for?
yeah.
That would be any percent.
Oh, wow.
And I know Gino just started routing it again with the inclusion of Spook, thinking he could take it perhaps sub 50.
That's
56:10 is the record. Wow, that's really fast. Yeah.
And then we got
it's interesting to note, Gino, like he did that fight perfectly too, but it was just a lot slower than Eden's. I don't know if that was buffs or just. I mean, that's just. It just shows how aggressive they are.
RNG.
Yeah, RNG as well. So Distraction Grab not getting the Ice Cream Grandpa.
No Ice Cream Grandpa. Can we?
This might be our first karaoke boy of the day.
Can we just tell Distraction Grab he needs to use another white branch?
Just keep using them until he gets Ice Cream Grandpa.
That's right.
Exactly.
We're gonna add 5 hits to his run if he doesn't.
What is Gino doing here?
Automatic 5 hits.
He's gonna ignore the sage completely. That's really cool. So is this like the old school Squilla style strat? I really like this. Run it past everything.
Yeah, he's not gonna kill the sage. I'm interested to see if he'll firebomb it.
He might just run past.
As he's running by. Yeah, maybe. Just terrifying, by the way.
What is some of your favorite runs to see in regards to like just either it's impressive or it has some interesting implications or kind of whatever modifiers it is that you think makes a run more fun to watch?
Oh, I have like an all-time favorite for Dark Souls 3, and it's definitely the SL1, all content, no upgrades, no infusions. The boss order is amazing. The variety of weapons is incredible. The level of skill it takes, it is absolutely incredible to see. And we have 3 runners here that have completed amazing runs in that regard. Although I believe Gino's the only person that's done all content so far.
I just like people to be in a state of panic. I don't know how we can create that, but we definitely need more tournaments where just random things are forced upon them in the middle of the run. Because everybody just gets too comfortable. But this Distraction Grab, of course, wouldn't even notice. He'd be like, oh, I have to go kill this random enemy? I mean, sure.
Why not? Yeah. We'd have to, the modifiers.
Wait, did I miss Lothric's space program? Did I really miss Lothric's space program? A highlight of the run.
Lothric space program? Do tell more.
Oh, I haven't missed it yet. We're good. No, I did miss it. Damn it. It's where Gino, he throws a firebomb at a gargoyle and it just goes upwards for no reason at all. It's the best thing in the run by far.
Oh man, it's the bridge of RNG.
Oh boy.
By the way, if y'all haven't seen the Mikolash TV strat for this, it is the best strat I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I stole it immediately, implemented it immediately, and never got hit again. I never like watched him do it. I just he like kind of explained it, and I just took his word for it. And so it was just like throw a lot of skulls, just like 10 of them.
So you wait in a particular spot for certain enemies to patrol to certain locations.
Oh, right. That is what it is. Yes, you send them down the stairs, and then you throw the skulls. And then there's no knights that dodge.
You as 2 skulls.
Right. I did. Yeah, that is an amazing strategy. Shout out to Mika. That strat was I love stealing that strat and immediately implementing it.
Eden going into Princess.
So I heard rumors that some of the very first no-hit runs did not include Alluring Skulls, or had a very brief use of them, like only in maybe 1 or 2 running sections.
Well, I want to say Hob was not a big fan of Alluring Skulls for whatever reason.
Maybe it was one of those items where people just didn't quite understand
did he just take a hit?
He did.
Yeah, that's crazy. That had to be no ring, right?
Yep.
Without blood ring, that was, or was that a first frame roll?
That was a first frame roll.
No, it was the end of his roll, and that particular swing has kind of a lingering hitbox on the hilt.
Oh my god!
He just barely didn't outspace it.
Well, all 4 of these runners probably not going to be doing the cheese strat, I bet. I don't know. They're all pretty dang good. I know I would always do that and get
I would just do the cheese strat and call it a day. You know what I mean?
If I'm in a tournament, I'm pulling that out for sure. A 0-hit run online? That's a good idea. I've never even considered that. I suppose you just do it at 2 in the morning in a region that no one else is in. That's the way to do it.
Well, if you put a password on it, would you get invaded?
That's a good point.
Probably
I've always wondered, why isn't it fair to do Half-Light online? Like, technically that should be legal, right? So I just get my friend to be Half-Light or whatever, and it should be no problem.
There you go. You don't even need STS.
No. Too much time to farm that.
I just came up with the best idea. So for one of these future runs like Cinder's game, you've got to play online with the right password, and all of the chat members have the same password.
Well, the problem with that is
that's terrible.
You get murdered immediately.
Junkie, I've learned that whenever you say, "I just had a brilliant idea," I should either be very excited or very scared.
Probably both.
Worth noting that we've got 2 princess fights going on.
Yeah.
2 for the price of 1. Gino, one of the best princess fighters in the world. He's unbelievably good. Fights really, really, really nicely.
Did we update Eden's hits?
Yes.
Was that his first hit?
I believe so.
Looks like it.
Okay.
Wow, I just love watching people that are good at the game fighting princes. Like
The
all
strafes
these
with
guys are just
princes
great.
is what impresses me the most.
Yeah, these are things I would never be able to do.
Right.
And there are 2 attacks that look extremely similar, one of which you can strafe and one of which you cannot strafe.
Well, that's just great then. That's perfect.
So the fact that they pull off these strafes so consistently is just incredible.
God, it's such a cool visual fight. Like I never really saw it because I never really did this strat, but it is cool when he's coming at you with the slams and oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we don't call them backpack bros.
Well,
that's
you
their
can.
official name.
You know what I
I
mean?
don't remember
Might not be able to see it, but
who it
in-game,
was. Somebody on their splits called them Hodor and Bran.
That's so good.
Distraction
Tricky
crap
in
going.
DSA.
Dungeon skip. Oh, as DSA is happening. So he didn't do the dungeon skip. So this is the only non-skip. And he's killing the rats, which is...
Oh my god.
The rats.
Joey and Margaret, no. Oh gosh, and one of them is turned around. That's...
F's for Joey and Margaret.
Yep,
You
I
hate
don't
to
know
see
how
it.
they got that name, but that is their name.
Are they the mama and the papa of all the little baby rats in that area?
Legally speaking,
Yeah.
yes, but
I saw it in a Vadi video.
Uh-huh. Then it must be true.
It's got to be true. There's no
Vadi
going
speculation.
on Cinder. This fight is it gets weird when it lasts this long. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if you've ever seen Rick and Morty with the Meeseeks, but like when things last like it's not really supposed to go this long. The soul mass turns into problems are gonna happen if this fight goes on forever. You just don't want it. Like now he's got the soul mass and he's got to deal with that. If he gets a weapon switch and no stagger, then things turn into a real problem.
So what is the most terrifying phase for Phase 1 Cinder? From
I
a
would say
no-hit
Spear.
perspective. Spear.
For me, it's Spear, no contest, because like I think a lot of people will tell you Curb Sword.
Spear
for me,
is
it's Spear.
the most reactionary. You have to be really quick with your reactions. And the thing about Spear is that it does become more telegraphed the more you do the fight. I can understand it. Like, you'll understand when he's going to do his really quick, like his fastest move that he has in his whole set. Like, you'll actually be
You
able
got
to
the
see
same
it
RNG
happening
that Squilla got
early.
earlier.
Oh.
Oh, and he's clutching it out.
Yeah, this is one of the worst RNGs, because you don't really want to be rolling sideways away from, like, as he's running at you with Curve Sword.
So Eden is electing to just sprint the hell away, and that seems to be working really well.
Well, I mean, Squilla earlier, that was how he got hit, was he tried rolling through the mist and then ended up taking a couple of soul mass hits.
What's
Yeah, he
interesting
kinda-
is that Eden was in the same scenario. The mist was kind of on his right, and he almost ran into it. But it's really good map awareness.
And immediately he's back in the fight after that dissipates.
Yeah,
Oof.
yeah. But
It
let's
sounds
knows
like he's
on,
putting in work
wait,
on
wait, wait,
DSA.
We
notice
got a
this.
double Cinder going
We've
on
got
right now.
4 boss fights. We've got
Oh
Yorm,
my god.
2 Cinders, and a DSA.
So Gino is amazing at Cinder. I've watched him do this fight for 30 minutes straight. We're listening to Heavenly Father on repeat. Just fantastic. I mean, he could do this fight forever. But it is a fight. I don't know how much he's been practicing. It's a fight where if you aren't completely tight with it, things can get a little bad. Definitely got to keep it tuned up. You can't take like 2 weeks off and just come back and do it. You got to go into the shop and do a couple. I definitely noticed that after Sekiro as well. Just coming back to this game and doing Cinder. Cinder felt really, really bad. Like, I did not know what I was doing. So all 4 of them all 4 of them went with the,
Storm Ruler?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like the only time I don't see Storm Ruler is with the Twin Blades run.
Oh my God, Eden almost died. He got stuck on a wall and full on panicked out of there.
Oh, the furniture in Senator's area is just Monka W as hell.
Yeah, when you get stuck on the wall and he does an explosion, that's one of the worst things that can happen.
So Jerome, when you were doing SL1 all content, did you use Storm Ruler on Yorm, or did you go for the?
I did not really get that far in SL1 all content. To be honest.
Well, I thought you had like a one-hit PB.
Nope.
Oh,
I
well,
didn't-
that's
I'm not
awkward.
running
Huh.
far too advanced for me. I didn't think about it.
So that's Cinder
I
fight,
said
eh?
nothing.
Yeah?
Yeah,
How
no,
about?
no.
How
I'm
about
just
them
not- I'm
Cinder
not-
fights?
I'm gonna be
I'm just
honest.
gonna throw away all
not-
these notes.
I was not good enough at any of these fights to do them that long. So I was very much a get in and get out, and if it lasts longer than a minute, I'm getting hit by something.
Hey, at least you know that though, Jerome.
Yeah, I mean that's the important part, is to recognize the problem.
Exactly. It's the first step to healing or something, or so I've been told,
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
Admitting you have a problem.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, Cinder's happening. Two
Oh, yeah, those Cinder
identical
fights, eh?
Cinders.
2 phase 2.
I don't even know what to focus
After
on.
this.
We got 3 different boss fights going on.
Well, just focus on Soundstrick on the ladder.
just hanging out on the ladder.
Oh man, look at that mustache.
Crab. Crab coming in here hot with that Yorm fight.
GG, very nice crab. That was a pretty clean Yorm.
none of these runners will be done at Cinder, so they've all got quite a bit left. Usually, I mean, this could be a mental thing to just do Cinder and have to keep going. Like, a lot of my hits would happen immediately after Cinder because I would just kind of relax and be like, oh, I'm done. You know, I'm going to take a breather. But really, the run is just getting started. That last little bit can get you hit all the time, especially Nameless King. Oh, yeah. Speaking of bosses that require a lot of attention, oh my gosh, you can't look away from Nameless King for a second.
Not even
Oh,
a second.
man.
And his dodge times are so very strange compared to all the other bosses in this game.
I think they
slows down.
specifically designed him to just like either delay or have really fast attacks.
Oh, nicely done, Eden.
Yeah,
I bet
amazing.
He feels pretty relieved at this point.
It's really good when you can get out of a bad situation, like this whole mass on the curve sword, like that. Sometimes you feel like, oh, thank God I'm out of it, and then it just becomes easier to get past the hard part.
Can we just appreciate the fact that Gino just mid-fight menued the Gold Pine Resin? Like,
Solid speedrunning, man.
Gino is a mad lad. He is secretly actually just lines of computer AI written into the game.
Eden's heading over to Tree Balls, one of the fights that no one will admit is actually terrifying. But I'm the only person who's ever said it.
I mean, I'm there with you, but yeah.
It's one of those fights that just no one wants to talk about how terrifying it is. But, you know, then you get hit
Well,
by
I mean, it's a giant tree with balls.
The reality is no one has ever practiced tree balls, like ever, like not a single time. And so you go into the fight and you haven't done it for a month because you haven't gotten that far in the run. And then you finally get to them and you have no idea what to do. I just, like when I got this run, I literally I didn't guess the rules. I had no idea what was happening.
Oh, we're going to have 3 fights again right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So Crab's going into Pontiff.
Wonder what he's
We
going to
have
do
ODK for Gino.
ODK low-key not super easy.
No.
Look at the damage that Crab is doing.
Wow, yeah.
That is insane damage. Holy cow.
I mean, that's like
Oh,
low
and the
damage.
perfect setup for the second parry.
Oh,
That's flawless. I can see why he did his route now because
I
that's
can
really
too.
nice.
Oh,
This
he
is a
kicked him.
beautiful
Oh God,
Pontiff
get
fight.
out.
Did he almost just kick Pontiff or did my
He
mind
did
kick
kick
him.
Pontiff.
He definitely
That
kicked
may
him.
cause him some
Sometimes you
problems.
just gotta
The
curb stomp
disrespect.
the boss, you
Oh
know?
my gosh. Didn't
He
even
had
need
so much
that
damage
R1.
that he was able to
Didn't
kick
even need
at
it.
the same time.
Oh, Tricky, I
Very
think, is
nicely
about
done.
to.
Well done, Crab.
Tricky is white branching it.
Oh, is he gonna get the ball? Yes, yes. This is what I'm talking about. See that ball?
The gargoyle.
No, the ball he's holding. It's
Yeah.
far more
Oh,
exciting.
the little ball.
Yeah,
That's Jerome's crystal ball.
yes, it is.
Does it allow you to see into the future, Jerome?
Yeah, it tells me he's not gonna get hit because his strat is amazing.
Uh-huh.
See, look.
We'll see if your predictions are correct.
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh.
we got.
There was an insane strafe there. Rolling the AoE. Gino has very aggressive strats on.
To be frankly honest, nobody has ever practiced ODK. This is another one of those fights.
No,
So,
yeah, no one
anything goes
cares to
wrong-
practice ODK, and then all of a sudden you get
No.
caught by ODK, and you're like, wait a second, I should
Yeah.
probably put some time in this fight.
what's really crazy is the hit that Hobb took, the famous hit, where he got stuck inside of the hammer. That's
Oh,
actually
no.
really easy to replicate. If you try to do like with Twin Blades, if you try to do the like the 8 hits or whatever, like you hit a bunch of times and then you get the stagger. There's just a percentage chance that he'll like whip around and you'll get stuck in his hammer, which is very fun.
Oh no, it looks like Tricky got a crash. He's
And
resetting
when
game right
I say
now.
stuck in his hammer, I mean literally you are actually
inside
in his
that
hammer.
hammer.
So is that like infinite hits at that point?
Yeah, you're just you're done for. It's over.
Or can you keep rolling?
No, I mean I guess you could. I've never considered that. Suppose you roll inside of the hammer. That's a great point. I suppose you could roll inside of the hammer and then homeward bone out as he's attacking you.
Did
Did
Crab use
Distraction
spook?
Crab is sprinting past everything. He must have, right?
It didn't look like anything reacted to him.
I don't think he did use Spook. I don't see it equipped.
Is he wearing like the ring?
Oh,
The
Gino coming up
slumbering
on
Dragon Crest?
I believe this is Gino's favorite fight.
Oh, look at this.
Nameless King. And it looks like Eden is on his way to ODK as well.
Yeah, Eden's about to hit ODK. So is this Gino's
Crab
last
got the
fight?
ring.
Or is
It
this-
appears so.
Looks like it. Can't think of what else he hasn't done. Oh, has he done? Yeah, he did ODK. I don't know if he's done Tree.
That's a very unique ring to get in this run. I don't think I've ever seen anybody pick it up before.
A couple of like French runners that pick it up. It's a very niche item.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know if the problem is it's hard to get, or it's just not necessary. With branches existing, it's not necessary in most situations, probably.
Right. I wonder
Where
if he gets
does
it
that even come from?
because of the all targetable enemies.
Oh yeah, I would
Probably
assume
makes
he's
the
just
area easier.
yeah, he's definitely probably doing it because it's just part of the route, and it's better to not change things. Like there's no real benefit to changing your route, and if you're just, it's gonna make it more confusing later in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a cool matchup because we get to see like all of the individual flair that each runner has.
Yeah, this is how I learned Nameless King, was watching Gino, and this very cool roll into him strat. Very few runners do that, or used to do that at least.
Well, we were
Where you
seeing,
just stand directly in front of him, and it will bait out a stab attack, which you just continually roll into. And if you're right in front of him, most of the time that'll result in more stabs happening.
we were seeing Dino do that earlier.
Yeah, that's a really good way to do the fight. And this is a fight that caused me
that's become
to.
the adopted way to do this fight.
Yeah, and it really feels great to do it. But phase
Nice
2
dagger.
is where Nameless King becomes a real challenge. There's some things that will happen. Basically, he has like a lightning stop attack that he did, but he can do that when he's like kind of far away from you, and that causes some. Oh, I think it's just like a lightning throw thing he does. And if you're far away, there's some big problem with phase 2 that I've always had. That you have to be really good. You don't want to
Now-
get far away from him. Like here, he could do a weird thing.
Important
Tricky.
note that he's doing this without Blood Ring, which is very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this fight is very hard without Blood Ring, especially phase 1 with some of those weird attacks.
All right, let's see what Tricky's up to.
Awesome fight from Gino though. That was great.
Uh,
For those who may not know, does someone want to explain what Blood Ring is and why it's such a benefit in that fight?
can we get Gino's time?
Yeah, hang
For what his time was.
on. 137.42.
137.42. Man, that's fast.
Holy cow.
So the Karthus Blood Ring adds 3 frames to your roll, if I'm not mistaken. So whenever you light roll, which is what all of these runners are doing here, your roll has 12 iframes. So 12 frames in game where your character is invulnerable. Karthus Blood Ring adds 3 frames to that. So it adds, what is that, a 20th of a second
Mm-hmm.
in game? Which doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is helpful on some bosses. Nameless King in particular.
Yeah, Nameless King is definitely the one I like it for the most. There's a couple situations. So one of them is Dancer, and which she does like a double like slam down attack. And if you instant roll after the first attack and you have Blood Ring on, then you won't get hit ever. But if you don't have Blood Ring and you don't time it perfectly, you will get hit. So there's like little things like that where you can make it easier for your brain by having the Blood Ring. Another one is Cinder, when he does a slam, running like slam towards you. The timings can be a little off, right? They're a little weird. So having Blood Ring definitely makes them just more consistent.
So do we want to get Gino in here and see if he wants to do an interview?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, the important thing I would say is the meta should always be practice without Blood Ring. You should never practice with it on ever, and just try to learn how to do the fights without it, because then even if you do want to use it later, it's just going to make everything more consistent.
So it's
Exactly.
basically just a clutch to use. So just in case you first frame rolled, it'll save your ass.
I would say it does have some benefits that a lot of people say it's not necessary, you don't need it. But I think it actually kind of it does have certain situations where it 100% does make it better, like more consistent. Like, for example, if you're fighting princes with Blood Ring, it's just easier.
Right.
All right, let's get Gino in here. Hey, what's up, Gino? GG.
GG.
Hey, guys.
Really,
Well
really
done.
fast time.
Let me,
Great, really fast.
Gina, let me sort out your volume real fast.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I wanted to
Am I
ask,
loud or
are you
quieter?
dressed up for the
You're
event? I
super
assume
quiet.
you are.
All right, let's go.
I also. Okay, is this good?
Yeah. I wanted to ask, are you dressed up right now? Are you wearing like a suit and a tie and everything?
Oh, dude, I'm fully pimped out.
Oh, great. Yeah.
As
That's what I
always.
wanted to hear.
I mean, that's
Yep.
what we were expecting.
Gold chain and everything.
Yeah, you got the gold chain.
Well, I have a gold chain, but it's like a hand me down from Jerome, so it kind of tastes like
Oh.
plastic.
It's not plastic,
Just
though. Don't worry.
vaguely.
Well, I don't know. I think he like licked it all off or something. I don't know.
Those are allegations. And
So
yeah,
So what? How do you feel about your run? Like,
Oh, it was terrible. I like every single boss was just it was so bad. Like this route is supposed to be like average like a 130 or a sub 130. But it was like a 137, and that was all because of boss RNG basically the entire time.
Really?
Like
yeah,
I don't know if
got
you guys
some
saw
really
like
unlucky DSA RNG I saw.
yeah,
like,
DSA,
long
like
time.
he was following up everything in phase 1, and then as soon as we get into phase 2, he didn't take any of the bait. And then like Cinder phase 2 was like hilarious. He just didn't give me anything. And then like even Yorm, did you guys see how many times Yorm stomped on me?
there
Yorm
was
stomped,
quite a few.
He stomped more times than he actually attacked. Like
Oh
with
my
like his
God.
machete, which was insane.
He's just a stompy boy.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Nothing
Like
you
it
can
was,
do
it was
about
actually
that.
hilarious. Like he gave me like I don't know if it was 3 stomps in a row, but he just like yeah, it was really bad. Every boss was basically just terrible. And then
Well,
the
well
hits
done
were just
regardless.
a fiasco, you know. Like Miss Perry
Also,
was
there,
pretty
there was
bad.
the
and
Gunder
then,
one. What was the other one again?
He got
Yeah.
cornered on the steps, like so he got like on a wall
Oh, the
apparently. I
hallway.
never
Yeah.
saw the clip, but
Yeah, like I threw a skull and then I like whiffed a hit on the archer, and so then like the other guy Diago'd to the skull, and so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw another one. And then I threw the skull, but it went over the balcony and didn't actually collide with anything. So then the guy just attacked
Crab
me
just
instead.
took a
It was
hit.
so stupid.
Oh no! I think that's 2.
And Eden just finished up.
Did we get Eden's time?
meatballs. That was an amazing run from Eden. It looks like he's gonna probably be qualifying here. And Gino's in good position as well. So yeah, especially with that fast time.
Yeah, Gino, you definitely had the fastest time of all the runners.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
next
so-
fastest was like 150 something. So
Yeah, with Squilla.
looks like Gino's
So
in.
IGT
Can't
for
get rid of
Eden
him.
was
He'll be back.
143.25.
Hopefully with a fixed controller, maybe.
Yeah, how about you gotta pick one up for tomorrow, baby.
You gonna go out tonight and get a new controller?
One's
Honestly,
on the way.
I would say just repair it yourself. Just get in, just open it up and just fix it.
Oh yeah, there
All
you
right.
go.
I think I need
Let's
new
pop
sticks.
Eden in
so
here,
I don't
too.
know. Okay, I've got a lot of stuff to do actually, guys. So I'm gonna
Okay.
have
No
to
worries.
ditch. But yeah, thanks
thanks
again.
for,
I'll see you guys. I
participating.
think tomorrow, right?
Nicely
So,
done, Gino.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what I'll do is once this finishes up, we'll let everybody know the standings, and so
Okay.
then we'll let you know if you advance to tomorrow or not.
Okay, sweet. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you, Gino.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a huge shocker seeing Gino probably qualifying for this.
Yeah,
Not
very, very well done.
a
Okay,
huge shock.
Speaking of, let's
we-
get Eden in here.
What is Eden's time?
143.25.
Okay.
We have
think.
Tricky on
Yeah.
Cinder right now too.
Yo, Eden, GG, dude.
Yo, what's up, boys?
Eden, very nicely done.
Really good run. Really fun.
Oh my god, is that
Okay.
Jerome?
Clean. It was good. It was a
Let's
good run.
let's get your volume sorted out.
My what?
Your volume. Let me go ahead.
Wait,
One,
Eden,
two,
did
one,
you
two.
undo your tie?
Put it back on. You're looking so
put it
damn
back
good.
on.
You're looking so.
You're
Yeah.
so dapper with it.
Oh yeah.
You're looking like $1 million.
So how do you feel? How do you feel about the run?
I'm good. This hit on Princess was super stupid. I'm glad that I didn't die because that would tilt the fuck out of me. And Pontiff was trolling me. Cinder was awful. I was running into things. I was running into walls. I was running into stumps.
We saw that,
He was-
yeah.
Yeah, we got into that wall and he did the explosion. That's always a fun time.
He was
Just
doing
getting
a
trapped.
lot of dumb shits, just like that. And yeah, the rest was pretty clean, I would say.
Speaking of
I'm really-
walls, sounds Tricky's having a good time. Never mind, he's out.
Yeah. So the princess hit basically like the hilt. You just barely didn't outspace the hilt, right, on that roll?
No, I think I just rolled early and it caught me in the end
okay.
frames. That's what I think.
Gotcha.
I would have to review it, but yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah, but like very fast run, very clean, very well done, dude.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, great
I
job.
think you finished with the least amount of hits for. Oh no, and Dino also finished one.
Yeah, Dino.
So
How
yeah,
did the
you'll-
rest of the people did?
Oh no, Crab got hit.
So
Oh no.
Gino finished with 2 in 137.
137. Come on, dude.
He was like he was
Doing so
not happy,
fast,
dude.
dude.
Well, he was
Were
also
you
like,
trying to go for speedrun strats, Eden?
I was going because I mean, okay, they were not speedruns strats. They were like modally speedy strats that I know are safe.
Well, we
did-
saw the jailer drain roll, and that was extremely sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was looking at the HP of the max HP, just making sure as well.
Yeah, that was the coolest thing I've seen. It's the new jailer strat you were doing. That was dope.
I know, right? Okay, guys, thank you guys so much for having me. It was a blast. Am I playing tomorrow? I don't know.
I believe so at this point, yes.
What time is it going to be?
It is going to be 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, or I believe that's 6 p.m. Central Time, Central Eastern.
Or Central European.
6 p.m. Central Eastern.
Central
tomorrow?
European Time. Yeah.
6 p.m.
I believe.
Oh,
that's-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
1 hour later for the early bracket this morning.
Okay. Thank you guys for having me. I will go and eat something because I haven't eaten in like 11 hours. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love you guys.
Go get some
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for
Have a
participating.
good night, Eden.
No worries, guys. Bye.
Bye.
See ya. So yeah, extremely talented runners finishing this run super, super quickly. It's amazing.
Mhm. It's incredible
so-
to see, really.
Interestingly, okay, so how did this work out? Eden's in-game time was 143, and Gino's in-game time was like significantly faster, but I feel like we got them in here around the same time. How did that
Mhm.
happen? Did Gino have like an early reset or something?
I'm not sure. We'd have to like look.
I can't remember.
That.
Well, I guess it's only like 5 minutes apart. So yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That seems right.
Eden
Man,
may
some
have
really
gotten
fast
a faster
runners.
time without the scuffed cinder.
Yeah, perhaps. Eden, thank you so much for the host, dude.
Indeed.
Enjoy your
Indeed.
food.
Oh yes, and PSA for everybody. It is daylight savings time tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh my
We will
gosh.
spring forward. Make sure to move your
That's
clocks.
definitely
at 2
going to
a.m.
impact the tournament, and no one's going to know what time to get here.
Oh my god.
What
Might
are
as well
the
cancel
odds
the
of
whole
the
thing.
tournaments on that day?
Crab hit 4. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Mhm.
So DSA giving Distraction Crab some problems here.
Yeah. He's taken 3 hits just to DSA so far.
Honestly, no, I would
DSA
just say get here like 10 hours early to be sure. You don't want to miss
Exactly.
it.
Oh yeah, just stay up all night. Green tea and PvP, baby.
That's what I did. I didn't know when I was going to cast. Really? Oh my god, Distraction Crab just got
Oh
shielded.
no,
Is that
Crab.
that's the 5th hit.
That's number 5. Yeah. DSA is
DSA
incredibly brutal.
The difference between DSA leveled versus at SL1 is probably
Mhm.
the biggest difference for any boss in this entire run.
It's the
Like-
difference between actually knowing the fight and not knowing it. Because you can actually get a DS3 all content run without actually knowing phase 2 pretty much at all. Because I would say 19 out of 20 times, if you do the 1 cycle strat, you won't get any phase 2 at all. Like no butterflies.
Yeah. And he's so leveled on his normal run by this point because he's killed every enemy every enemy in the game up to this point. He has so many levels. There's no way he sees phase 2 on his normal run.
That being said, he is good at this fight. That's just it just can get it's really overwhelming. There's too much to think about. It's the kind of fight you really have to put hours into to not be.
He can get in your head too.
Yeah. There are still scenarios I don't fully understand how to get away from. Like you're trapped in a corner and the meatballs are coming down and DSA's in a certain spot. Like there's things I don't totally understand how you would get away from, but.
And Tricky just wrapped
requires
up
a lot of
with,
practice.
Champ.
With Champ.
Tricky has
with Chad
Demon
Gunder.
Key and
Chad Gunder.
Chad Gunder. Indeed. Such a good name.
Tree, ODK, and Nameless. So
this is the DSA fight. Like the problem is if you make a little mistake with the butterflies, and it's really really hard. This is a fight that I personally don't really know how to do that well in SL1, so I can completely respect these runners. Like if you're having a problem with this fight, I don't blame you at all. This fight's very hard.
Oh, I've seen people do SL1 playthroughs and be stuck on DSA for weeks before.
Yeah, he is a big roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's a good point from the chat from Yes Cup. It's really, there's so many things to think about. Like, if you roll wrong, you roll off the bridge really easily. There's like so many weird things that wouldn't happen in any other fight. Like just keeping track of your positioning while there's things happening, like things that are off screen happening, while DSA is still a pretty scary boss all by himself. Like, this is the hardest SL1 fight, I think.
It definitely has one of the highest skill ceilings.
Really curious that he has that shield on. Is he going to be doing a parry?
Oh my gosh, he might be.
Can you parry DSA?
Oh yeah,
you can.
Really?
And it technically might be worth it.
Oh my god!
Here it is.
This would be the time.
Is he gonna do it?
Oh, he did. Okay,
oh,
you rolled it. Okay, he must have it out for the Sage. Honestly, that's all I can really think of.
Okay.
I got my hopes up there. I was like, oh man, he's gonna get it.
We got a curse run.
Have we ever seen that in a tournament? That would be amazing.
Such a
I know
big
Sounds Tricky has done it in runs before. It's really hard. It's not easy. That being said, if you with SL1, it's a lot easier to do than with. See, I would have said that's a blood ring issue, but he does have blood ring. It's just that's a really hard roll. That's why you saw Eden like rolling like a different direction. If you roll back with it, the timing's even harder. That's why a lot of people roll like forward through it. I've always done exactly what he did there and roll backwards with it, but it's just one of those timing things that just it makes things tighter, you know.
Looks like he's gonna do. He's gonna go ahead and do Osiris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good
really
idea.
Good call,
Give himself a break. So that's the smartest thing I've ever seen. I've never would have thought to do that. Yeah. Just separate yourself from the fight for a minute.
Yeah.
Because he knows he's probably done this fight 1,000 times, so you don't want to get upset.
Well, and yeah, the tilt can definitely get real, especially in a tournament. As soon as you start feeling the tilt, it can throw everything off.
Oh yeah. I've done that fight SL1 in tournaments and gotten stuck there, so it's just. I'm pretty sure everyone has. It's the other three runners, like they've done the low damage run for so long that it just becomes trivial.
It's just muscle memory at that point. Yeah.
And Distraction Crab is an amazing runner, but he's doing a different type of run where he just doesn't. He's not grinding that really low damage DSA.
Well, and I think this is the perfect encapsulation of like the different types of no-hit runs that exist and how the different muscle memory can affect those runs. Yeah.
And honestly, the people doing SL1 no upgrade right now, they're in a great position for this tournament. Whereas somebody that has learned every role for every boss in the game, or I mean every fight in the game, like they have a different skill set, and it just doesn't. Oh my God, what's happening? What's happening on Sounds Tricky screen?
Sorry. Everybody's pogging at the word encapsulation.
Oh wow!
Just like say it one more time. Oh my god, so many pogs. Highlight of the tournament right here, guys.
That really encapsulates this tournament.
It really
Absolutely. does. We got 5-head plays. We got 5-head words.
That's right.
It's what these tournaments are all about.
And we have 5-head outfits.
Oh my god, you're absolutely right.
Is this true?
Oh, we're gonna get to
smart,
see
you talk
Distraction
smart.
Crab's Osiris strat. That's exciting.
what's he
I
gonna
love
do?
this
Oh,
strat.
what does he do?
His phase 2 strat is very scary looking and very consistent and very comfy.
Is he going to be able to do it at super low damage? That's the question.
I think he will. So he posted a clip on Twitter a while back of this strat, and he was on NG +7, and his damage was really low. So I think he should have some good comfort doing this.
Really important to note, he is an innovator in this community. He has come up with some crazy strats. Like, he has a strat where he one-shots halfway. Like,
What?
100%. Yeah. He uses like a faith build or something, and he uses the dragon torso stone and like a bunch of stuff. And you can actually one-shot with like a parry, I believe. It's like literally
That's
one
That
shot.
is so
amazing.
cool.
Yeah. Which is
He's
really
like
cool.
like a blessed dagger or something, or does
Yeah,
he
it's
just
something
take
ridiculous.
Wow.
It's one quick stab and he's dead.
I was interested to see if anybody was going to pick up STS on this run, but it looks like, I mean, it's just not necessary. But I
Yeah.
was
I
curious.
think for all
because it does
content,
help
we
on
would've
ODK.
seen everybody pick it up, but this is, well, maybe not everybody, but most of the, oh my god, that charging swipe, I swear to god I've never even seen that attack, but I've seen it now twice. I saw Eden
Yeah, so
have it
look at
in
this.
South Ricky.
He's just backing up and just dodging the attacks that come out. That is like
That
terrifying.
is the coolest thing I've seen. That's really cool. I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, that attack, I guess you could learn it, but oh my god, it's terrifying.
So he's abusing the fact that Osiris cannot charge twice in a row.
Ooh.
So he,
This is news to me.
no.
Oh my gosh. You can't
He was
charge
too
twice
far
in a
away.
row? I guess he has to
He was
turn
too
and
far
charge
away.
again?
Yeah.
You sure he can't charge twice in a row? I feel like he's charged me
Yeah.
twice in a row.
So if he pivots, he can charge again.
Oh,
But if you're in front
okay.
of him after a charge, he cannot charge again.
That is really
So
weird.
what happened there is Crab was just too far away because he charges at the end of his breath attack.
Wow, I'm learning a lot. There's crazy mechanics people are figuring out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't know
and
how
it's
you would
all
know
like,
that.
it's like so positioning based. It's really cool.
Is
Yeah.
Tricky on to Nameless at this point?
He is.
It appears so, yeah.
I feel like we can take some of the lessons from this game design and like use them to become better runners when like Elden Ring, for example, out. Because
Absolutely.
like they're gonna reuse the same tricks. Like I could notice it in Sekiro quite a bit.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
We're all gonna be better
Mhm.
runners in Elden Ring and go for that world's first and everything.
I
Because
think the only thing that makes me a little sad is everybody rushing for that world's first is I feel like Sekiro, it didn't get the chance to just breathe and everybody kind
totally
of just
right. I mean,
appreciate it for
I'm
the
gonna
game
be
it
honest, I
was.
still don't know what the plot was or anything.
Right.
I mean,
Like
I've
when you're
never seen those things.
rushing to get that first no hit or to get a no hit in that game, you don't really get to understand the lore or any of the mechanics of the game. Like I feel like DS3 got that chance before people started no hitting it.
Oh, definitely. And the min max, I
DS3
think
was
it's
like-
honestly, I'm gonna say it's speedrunners because they just come up with the craziest strats so quickly,
Right.
and then before you know it, they're like swimming through the air and they're at the final boss 5 minutes in.
I mean,
I mean,
that's a
that's
great point as
Jerome's
well.
not
because
even joking, by the way.
Oh, I know. Uh-huh.
the thing that I really appreciate kind of about the way I tackle this in particular is like I try to come up with my own run for this. And you'll see me like while I'm like figuring out my routes for like no hit stuff, I am like off exploring. I'm like, what's over here? What's over there? And part of it is because like I want to still experience the game, even though I'm trying to get like vastly better at it. I'm still trying to like
Yeah, if I
learn
can-
more about it. I'm still trying to figure out where items are, and I'm still trying to figure out what is going to get me to where I want to be with that no hit run.
If you guys haven't seen the way that OG Junkyard like routes and learns his no hit runs, it is really a treat to see, because it's like it kind of takes the things that you like to see out of a blind playthrough and combines it with the things that you like to see out of a no-hit run.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've never gotten a chance to see that, you gotta.
And it also adds spreadsheets, which everyone loves. Spreadsheets.
Oh, the spreadsheets.
I love the
Oh,
spreadsheets.
yeah.
Fan favorite
I gotta
spreadsheet.
say.
It's just kind of funny because like I started using the spreadsheets to like figure out what to focus on to get better, and then next thing you know, like as soon as I finish my run, everybody's like, "It's spreadsheet time!" Like,
You gotta see the spreadsheets.
you gotta see the spreadsheets. But-
Craigasm for organization.
I know, right?
Well,
Tricky's
I'm gonna
almost
be
done
honest.
here.
It's kind of the coolest thing because every runner has done these runs for 1,000 times or more, and it would be really cool to see which boss you got hit by. Which, I mean, we all kind of vaguely understand what happened, what was causing our hits. Like maybe you got hit by Cinder a lot, and in all your runs. But it would be really cool to know, like, oh, I got better at this. This stopped being a problem, or like maybe this started being a problem when it, wasn't for a long time.
And we're gonna see Tricky here.
He's doing it.
Hey,
Wow, he's
GG to
putting in work.
Crab.
Yeah, he got through. He got through.
He got through
DSA.
DSA.
The patches squat. Let's
Nicely
go.
done.
Oh,
Amazing fight from Sounds Tricky. Didn't
Yeah.
really even.
And that
Didn't
wraps
even
up
break
Sounds
a
Tricky's
sweat.
run.
Yep.
so let's make sure we get a time and check out the soul level.
So there's soul level 1.
Yep.
155.28.
Okay.
That's so close to Squilla's.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Like
How close was it?
so, 155.28. Squilla was 156.27.
Holy
my
less than a
god.
minute.
Oh my god.
You wonder if there's anything like Squilla. Did he like take a break for a minute or anything? Like, is there anything he'd be like, oh my god, sure
That's
wish that hadn't
nuts.
happened.
That is so unbelievably close.
Jeez. Wait, were they both tied at 3 or did Squilla have 2?
They
Yeah.
were both tied for 3.
Uh-huh.
So it could be a difference maker here. This is.
It could, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Oh my gosh.
that's actually Tricky's getting in, Squilla's not.
Oh my.
Holy
Oh
shit.
my god. That is.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Shout out to Distraction
A
Crab. Really
difference-
cool strategy. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
who invented this. I don't know. I know Oline. Did Oline do something like this?
Oh, he's throwing poop. I love it.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like Oline did something like this.
Oh, you know what? That's actually a pretty interesting way to do it. Because if you're getting the parries, and you've already toxic Sage, basically Sage will kill itself.
Yeah, this is kind of like using Storyteller Staff or something. I mean, it's just like a nice. It's like, but you do have to dodge a couple of attacks.
All right,
Get
guys,
it.
let's get tricky in here. Sounds tricky. My man.
Yo, what up, Tricky?
What's up, guys?
Great run.
I like the dancing.
Thank you.
My dude, let me fix your volume here.
Oh, am I loud?
Yeah, you were just a little bit loud. It's okay. We got you.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, okay. So let's talk a little bit about your run, but also congratulate you for beating Squillakilla by 59 seconds.
Holy shit! Wow. It's a good thing It's a good thing I picked a fast route.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you thinking throughout your run? Like, kind of what parts were you concerned about? Was there anything that you found like went easier than expected? Just kind of give us a lowdown.
Well, like the whole idea of the run is low damage, efficiency, and like speed. So there's always going to be choke point bosses. Pontiff was one of them, and I ended up missing a running attack on the phase transition, and I got bodied for it.
Were you doing +4 on Pontiff?
I was +5. That's why I
Okay,
went
okay.
down to Demon Ruins, and then I got Easterner's Ashes and went +6. It's really similar to the SO1 glitchless run. It's like really
I love
similar.
that path.
Yeah, it's really nice. If I had gotten away from Pontiff, I probably would have been fine. The issue was like when they did the running attacks, it was on the stairs, and whenever the ghost runs across the stairs, it cuts his run distance by half, and then I just got into a situation.
Wow.
As far as like anything I was worried about, I wasn't really worried about anything. Like I guess Osiris, but he was pretty clean.
I mean, you got him.
I'm pretty cozy with him. I was doing some no-roll stuff on him.
So, do you think that like the speedrunning stuff prepared you for this better, or like made you go faster?
I mean, it prepared me to like go a little bit faster, right? But I don't know. Anybody who's asked me anything pertaining to like getting better at the game, I always tell them if you're doing anything, you're gonna get better, and every new thing you do, you're gonna get better. So.
Oh no, Crab just got hit by the crystal rain.
Did he get hit twice?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's unfortunate.
So yeah, speedrunning was like just another aspect of the game I haven't quite tapped into yet, and it shows. Like my Osiris is a little bit cleaner, my princes are a little bit cleaner.
That's awesome, man.
I wish I could agree.
I was watching all the fights. You were really clean. It's amazing how good everyone is getting. How much better you guys are than a couple months ago. It's just crazy the improvement.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. A lot of people are improving. A lot of people are getting their runs.
Oh yeah. Just watching everybody doing Osiris and not like there weren't even like positional mistakes really. It was just like perfect. Like nothing, you weren't gonna get hit or anything. Nice.
Hell yeah. Lot of. I mean, like Dino and Kazoodle, they've dabbled in this run, but they picked it up quick, and yeah, everybody did it good.
It was really good though.
So as it stands right now, you are qualifying
Hell yeah.
for tomorrow.
How do you feel about that?
Feel good.
Yeah.
Are you able to tell us the tournament time, considering that daylight savings is happening? Will you be there in time? Will you know which hour it is? Because nobody else will know. So.
I mean, you should probably at least get some sleep, Tricky.
I would say get here between 5 to 15 hours early.
Yes.
To be safe.
I mean, you might as well just stay up at this point.
I'm ready.
Just drink a shit ton of coffee.
Are you gonna dress up nicer tomorrow?
We'll see.
That is the question.
Because I was a little bit hot in that blazer, so we'll have to see. We might have to break.
You're telling me,
dude.
dude.
I was trying to tell people that does affect
Extremely hot.
pretty severely. Like that, we're in fancy clothes. You get hot, it throws you off. You're not expecting it.
Yeah, nice fabrics, heavy fabric.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody saw it there, but Distraction Crab got staggered by the war cry from the Great Axe NPC. That sucks.
He's taking it in such a good stride.
Good time.
I mean, he's having fun with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All smiles.
Tricky Man, thank you so much for participating, dude. It is seriously an honor to have you here. And if you guys don't know Tricky, go check him out. Incredible, like scientific influence on Dark Souls no-hit stuff. Really, really good at finding new strats.
Go follow Tricky so I can ban you in his chat. I mean, just go follow Tricky.
Thank you guys for putting an event on. This was it was nice to have something out of the box than a normal like any percenter. SO1's pretty cool.
Indeed.
It's fun to watch.
Once again, thank you for participating.
Yep. Thank you guys for commentating. I'm gonna peace out. Y'all have a good rest of the round.
Have a good one, Tricky.
Bye, guys.
All right, so Distraction Crab.
There's an elevator here. Just quick note: you can fall down this elevator and die. So I would be always wary of if the elevator's up or down.
I don't think we've ever seen anybody fall down the elevator, though.
The important thing to note is that if you activate the elevator and then come back up here, the elevator will be down. So if you run back up the stairs or anything, there's a lot of situations that can happen. So be very wary of not falling down that elevator. See, there's no elevator there now. If he, possibly rolls backwards into it, he will die.
So are you saying if the elevator is down, you cannot ride the elevator down?
See how he's dealing with a lot of He's dealing with a lot right now. There's an elevator. It's going up and down. And
this is a really technical part of the run.
See, this is my problem. This is actually the scenario. He just saved himself, though. This is really a big move because the guy is blocking his path and he's running low on skulls. So I would have activated the elevator and then panic rolled backwards, but he actually brought it back up first. Really smart veteran move from a good no-hit runner. I'm telling you, no, that was the scenario. That was he almost fell off.
Does it count as a hit if you yeet yourself off the elevator?
Yes, in fact it does.
Oh, that's a shame.
That doesn't seem fair. What is this
It
rule
doesn't
set?
seem fair. I know, right? If you can't
Who
just
came up
yeet
with this?
yourself off a cliff.
I didn't come up with the rules, unfortunately. If I
Shenanigans.
had.
Calling it right now, it's shenanigans.
So he is going back to set up RTSR, it looks like, or just ride the elevator again for fun. It's just fun.
Oh, he's probably
It is
resetting the enemies.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's probably what he's doing. That makes
And maybe re-upping on skulls if he needs them.
Oh, right, he did rest at the bonfire. Maybe that was why.
And maybe buff materials, perhaps. I don't know if he used any on the way here, though. So,
This is
with Distraction Crab's run here, we have gotten to see so many, like, extremely unique, very cool strategies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean,
Like, things we haven't gotten to see before.
we have seen a variety, not only in the order that people are tackling bosses, but kind of how they're tackling them. We've seen like different ways to handle like specific situations, whether it's like the Lothric bridge here, and it goes to show you that there's more than one way, to skin an Osiris. But at the end of the day, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done.
Wait,
big
I thought
question
you skinned
here is-
ODK, not an Osiris.
Skin the ODK.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
I've got a big question here, a
Who are we
serious question. Is he about to cheat? Is he about to parry princes? Like, does he just like holding on the shield? He must just like the shield.
It's a
Makes him feel
stylish
good.
shield.
'Cause
That
there
would
is a
be
way to
so
parry
cool
princes.
to see a prince's parry.
You can do it. Just
I mean, at
not-
this point, like, is
He's keeping us here with, like, bated breath. Like, where's the parry?
I know, right? We're all like watching very intently.
I just wonder if it matters much. I mean, if you have Flynn's on, the damage does lower a little bit, but not significant, I guess. Maybe. I mean, that's usually why you wouldn't have it on, but. And I don't know how it affects stamina as well. There's probably a little bit something affected there.
So
Or
that
another
is a good
formula.
point. Most SL1 runners have the Grass Crest shield basically attached to their hip.
Yeah.
for
I
the
assume he
stamina
just didn't pick it
recharge.
up.
Right.
As someone who kills the crabs, I'm surprised. You
Or does
kill the
it-
crabs, right?
Or do they distract him?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
He is the distracting crab.
Oh, my apologies.
He distracts the
I'm
other
curious how he
crabs.
kills the crabs. I wonder if he comes back later and like throws fire bombs at them because you can make them burrow, which is kind of cool. I'm
The crabs
I kinda
actually
want to
have,
watch
like, a
his run now.
Do I
It's
need
got
to
the
rename
crazy-
myself to Burrowing Crab?
Honestly, that sounds like a professional speedrunner or something. I could see that guy at GDQ or something.
Mm-hmm.
Burrowing crab.
Oh, man. This Prince's fight looks so clean right now.
This is a very
Yeah,
good
just
Prince
no
fight.
mistakes or anything. Just great. Also, he's got an
He's
animated
very
crab
patient
as his,
with it.
his icon.
It is. It is.
That's a nice touch right there.
The first animated one I've seen. It looks like.
he doesn't roll at the fog wall.
Oh my god, I forgot. Oh god.
He just straight up
Yeah.
strafes it, basically.
Well,
That's
that's,
amazing.
cool.
That's very cool to see.
That was impressive, to be honest. I don't think we've seen anybody else except for
No.
Distraction Crab.
That
do
again is
this.
a very unique strat to himself.
He stays away from that fog wall. Almost as if, like, on principle, you know?
Yeah.
No,
Hey, that
jeez.
fog wall has gotten many a run.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd give that
Gotten me
fog
to
wall
Cinder
an
a few
award.
times.
Yeah, it's gotten me more than just that.
I'm sorry?
No, I didn't mean it like that. Oh my god.
Well, hello.
Oh my god, he's dodging the. Oh, this is a terrifying nightmare. What's happening here?
Remember that time
Monka
Jerome?
TOS from the chat.
Right. Remember that time that that Jerome was dancing and he slipped?
That happens almost every time I dance now.
Is that why they call you No Hip Jerome?
Yeah. Were you saving that the entire stream?
I was.
Wow, it paid off. It really paid off.
Is that something you would be interested in?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I actually do have a question about the dancing, Jerome. Do you feel like you have become more in shape as a result?
Yeah,
of all the
I'm not
dancing?
even kidding. I've lost like 27 pounds since I started the WoW streams. But
GG.
that might also be because I just don't have food anymore. So that could also be it.
You just exist on the nutrients of the universe.
Are you a
and green
breatharian
tea.
at this point?
Well, I just don't really have time to eat, so I don't eat as much. All I used to do was eat because it's pretty fun, but
Eating is really fun.
Nicely
it's
done,
fun.
Crab.
That was an amazing fight. He deserves a medal, and the
It's
fog ball also gets
extraordinarily
one.
clean.
That was very clean.
Is that like -3 hits right there?
I think we subtract.
Might
a
as
couple.
well, you know.
He's got everything. He's got a good setup. I love his alerts sliding up. Just a lot going on here.
I think he's also like, I mean, going into his stream, it's super comfy all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just a grand time, you know?
Absolutely.
Plus, look at that flannel, dude.
He dressed up.
Oh my god.
He's on his way to a job interview.
What kind of shampoo do you think Distraction Crab uses?
I don't know, but his hair looks like super healthy. I'm a little jealous myself.
Right?
Definitely using Paul Mitchell for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
Sitting over
dress
here
flannel?
with Dove.
Oh, he's wearing his fanciest shirt. This is a nice shirt.
Dan's game for Dove.
I know, right? It's what I got.
So he's coming up on Cinder. He's gonna set up RTSR. This is something I always was scared about, but that's all one. I'm sure there's a way I would end up dying if I did this. But luckily I didn't get very far in this run, so. You can always do it the slow way too. Also, he's +10. He just got his slab. That's perfect. That's interesting. He came back down like 4 times, or okay, not like a couple times, but he didn't go +10 for Princess. But then now he's +10. That would have made the fight a little bit easier.
I mean, seeing how just like cozy he looked in that fight, he was probably like, I just don't need it.
Yeah.
What is the damage increase from +9 to +10 for broadsword?
I wish I
pretty
knew.
significant.
Is it?
It's got to be at least 30, right? I don't know. I wish I knew the numbers. Somebody knows them.
I have this recollection that the Titanite slab is like one of the big jumps in damage, because every time you switch to a new type of upgrade material, it's like a bigger jump. So
That
like
makes
from
sense.
Titanite shards to large shards, it's a big jump, and then large shards to chunks, it's a big jump, and then chunks to so on and so forth.
So this is the scary part. One time I went to the bonfire and I rolled off the edge on a 0-hit run. So that was fun.
Oh no.
There's a couple of slippery slopes at the edge there.
Well, it's something to do with when you're sprinting and you let go of the button. And if you do it incorrectly, you will actually tap the button again. It's really slight and very minor. But you can basically let go of the button and actually double tap it without even trying to. And that will cause you to roll off of edges. So I just never sprint near edges. It's my solution.
That's a good call.
Yeah, it's pretty much we're losing a lot of runs. Great Cinder fight though.
Yeah. You can like really see when somebody's spent a long time with Cinder, and I mean the time
Yeah,
pays
and all
off.
4 of these runners have spent a long time with Cinder.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking like 300 hours or something. I'm talking like
Yeah.
they've spent weeks of their lives.
Sometimes it's almost worth it to throw over onto Cinder just to get the extra practice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to Cinder at 0 hits, you get to the
Uh-huh.
last like pixel of health, and you just let him body you,
Exactly.
and then you just fight him for 25 more hours.
Don't you have personal experience with that, Josh?
Nope.
I
Oh,
have a
no.
Cinder
I'm thinking
story.
of
I don't
someone
know.
else.
No,
I have a Cinder story.
I've never thrown 3 runs to Cinder. Anyway,
So I had like 2 viewers, right? And I get to Cinder, 0 hit. And out of nowhere, like Squilla comes in. Because he just has like a radar. He just has like a radar whenever someone has, 0 hits or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And
he gets a tingling feeling when somebody's on a 0
he
hit.
comes in, and I'm doing great. And then I'm in phase 2, and I'm about to kill Cinder. And for some reason, like there was a stump. Like I just like walked backwards into a stump. And I just immediately like panic rolled to try to like break the stump. And then Cinder attacked me.
And then
And then I didn't see Squilla again for several months. And you know what? I deserved it. And then I got my run, and it was all good. And that was traumatizing though. Because the only thing he saw from me was me just walking to a stump and then panic rolling and
throwing
dying.
a 0-hit run.
No.
So a better question is, when have you panicked the absolute most and it still paid off?
I can't think of a single time that I ever panicked and it paid off. And part of that is, I think, trying to entertain the stream is just like, I don't know. Your logic goes out the window at some point.
All scary RNG here on Distraction Crab.
Mm-hmm.
I just think this game is not designed to panic. This game is.
That was one hit, I think.
Yeah,
that was one hit. The poke killed him before the soul mass hit him.
He was already skewered long before the other things hit him.
No.
That's like, again, like, so we have seen soul mass into like another scary phase on pretty much every run. That's insane.
Yeah,
I just wanted to point
was
out
that just
my mom just brought me a bowl of soup, which is really nice. So.
Well,
Oh my god.
Did you
what
say
what kind of soup?
Did you say hi to your mom for us?
She's already upstairs. Looks like some cauliflower soup thing. Broccoli, maybe? I don't know.
That sounds really good, actually.
That actually does sound good.
Oh yeah.
I'm very hungry right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a hypothetical question that has nothing to do with any of these runs. If you had the choice to remove all of the dumb objects like tree stumps from boss arenas or delete deacons from Dark Souls 3, which would you choose?
Delete the what?
Either delete the Deacons of the Deep from the game or delete all of the random crap objects in the boss arenas.
I would double both.
Oh my god.
You would increase the amount of random objects and have to fight deacons twice?
No, I would double the amount of deacons in that boss run.
Junkyard, that's very rude. I might have some.
I've actually lost an unbelievable amount of. Like there was a run where I was in DLC 2 with 0 hits, and there was just a random head in the ground for no reason at all, and for some reason, it was just sitting there, and a bunch of archers were like firing arrows at me, and I just walked, stopped moving, and all the arrows hit me. Oh, I mean the things on the ground, I don't know who put them there or why, but they're there, and they're
evil.
Killers.
I would probably choose all the random objects, honestly.
There's a lot of examples. So candles and deacons, everyone's lost a run to that. So you just like walk into a candle and then you get poked or fireballed or something. Or you like try to roll to break it. And that really panic rolling to break an object is kind of like that's a great way to get hit.
Yeah.
The stumps are a really common one. I can't think of what else. I'm trying to think of other things. I know CC Vector he would throw firebombs and break, or like he had fireballs as a caster. He would just break all the stumps in the Cinder Arena before he went in.
Oh, the chairs and princes?
Oh, the chairs, the
where
chairs.
they cause the princes to cancel their animation and start up into attack. That's extreme. That's like double bad. The Pews and Dancer, like, the list goes on.
I think I would still rather delete deacons because,
I respect both choices here. They're both awful.
Honestly, though, the question is, do the designers know what they're doing when they're putting those in, or are they? Because if they ever learned how much power they have, they could really do some terrible things.
So I have a theory about the gank fights.
No, he didn't take a hit there, even though he was right in front of the command.
He snuck in. He snuck in front of it. That was really cool.
That was nicely done.
Pretty cheeky.
So my theory of the gank fights in any of the Dark Souls games is they're designed to make you panic because there's too many things to pay close attention to, which led them to designing deacons, and they thought the more bullshit we can put in this arena, the more panic. So the harder the
thing
fight's
about
gonna
that
be.
fight is that I've watched a lot of blind playthroughs, and that fight is consistently one of the easier ones.
Right.
For a normal run, like just playing the game.
Well, no hit, it's a nightmare.
It just leads me to think that their game design is a little bit flawed. It's probably more likely.
I mean, we have to remember that these were not designed to be no hit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Only a community as crazy as the Dark Souls one would go for it, you know?
Oh, right.
That's the main thing. They're not designed to be played 1,000 times in a row.
It goes to show just how impressive, like, all of these, feats of no-hit dominance. It's just like, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if every single boss had as many different attacks as Cinder does.
Oh,
That would be pretty
my
cool,
God.
actually. That'd be really cool.
I feel like that would just be exhausting, though.
If
Which
you were
I
trying
guess-
to do like challenge runs and stuff, it absolutely
Yeah.
would be.
But these games, to that point, aren't meant to be played in a single sitting, typically.
Hence why the game just crashes.
They didn't even
Game's
try
like,
to
no,
bug
you're
test
playing
for
too
it.
fast.
Yeah, stop it. Slow down. Take a break.
It looks like Crab added another hit after that. Maybe he took a tick of damage from something. I didn't see, though.
I didn't see either.
Chat. I know what
Chat
I'm doing,
disagrees
chat.
with you, Josh.
You can't stop me.
I'm telling you, I really think that they should give like 30, 35, 40 different attacks to the bosses.
Well, let's not get too crazy with the junkie.
I mean, can
I'm
you,
feel
thinking like
Gale,
15.
That's the thing about Gale. Like, everyone loves Gale, but it doesn't have as many attacks.
No,
That's
he
true.
doesn't.
Having more attacks does make the fights better. Like, it does make them better, I feel.
imagine,
Gale is a very cool fight, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Pretty cool.
imagine if Gale had an attack where he ran out of arrows, and so he just throws the thing at you. And
But his
Yeah, I
bow
mean,
is
you-
also
you
like
should
one of
probably
those
be
weapons
designing
from
for them at this
Borderlands.
you know what I mean? And then like he runs across the arena and grabs it and like shoots you with it again whenever he's close.
Yeah. Or like an attack where he tries to strangle you with his cape. That'd be fun.
Honestly, why hasn't From Software contacted us yet?
I think they're
Why,
they're
we've-
they're figuring
Five
out the
heads,
business
a
end
lot
of
of
it.
us.
They'll be contacting us soon. So this fight, as I've always tried to maintain, is a fight that no one has ever practiced, ever. No one has ever loaded up a save file for this fight, which makes it 10 times more scary. It's actually terrifying.
What do you think of the removed boss Jariel from DS1?
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
You don't?
You explain, Junkie.
Okay. So there is an entirely completed boss in Dark Souls 1 called Dark Prince Jariel, I think is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say it was supposed to be in the room at like the kind of final area after Dark Moon or Gwendolyn, Dark Sun Gwendolyn.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And so it was just another like boss fight, and it kind of gave me like Gwyn vibes a little bit. But take a moment, like, you know what? I'll find it real fast.
Bloodborne had a lot of those too, where people like data mine or something, and they just keep finding full like bosses. I have no idea how to find that information, but yeah.
Titan
There's
Earth,
a full like 4
DS1
or
is
5
bad.
challenges removed.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
it's Undead King Jariel.
Huh.
Yeah, I'll link it up here in chat.
I would love to know about like completed DS3 bosses that they didn't put in. I know Osiris was much different initially, and there were a lot of bigger plans for the DS3 than what they ended up doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, from the like what people understand. I wonder if they run out of time and they wanted to put the bosses in, or they felt like something like Jariel didn't fit the game, or I assume it's just a time thing. They just like ran out of time, because they certainly didn't care about putting in too many bosses for some of their games.
I mean, whenever you look at DS2 and the fact that it has 42 different bosses, I'm just like, can you imagine if you had to learn 40 hits for 42 different bosses?
That sounds like my kind of game.
16.
Oh yeah.
Was it 1,600 different hits? It's like, what?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I would love it, but also at the same time, I'd be like, I think it would actually improve DS2 quite a bit, for the sheer fact that I felt like they would have thought about the bosses more.
Yo, Distraction Crab actually looks really practiced on all Demon King. Like his
Oh yeah.
the strafes he's doing and the dodges he's doing is like really, really cool.
He just iframed the AoE.
Yeah. And he's running behind him here. Like, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that's like an AI loop almost. Like, that is cool.
Does Distraction Crab know something we don't?
I think he knows a lot of things we don't after what I've seen today.
With that, actually. I would love to get his notes.
You mean?
I would bet he does have notes too. He must have notes to do all these bosses. There's no way to do all the mobs, you'd no way to keep track of them unless you have notes. Like, does he have a checklist? Is he just like, okay, I gotta get this boss, check, okay, that's done. Now I'm gonna go over here and kill this pot lady, and then, okay, how do you even keep track?
I wonder how long it's taken him to get to his 7-hit PB. Like, I wonder when he started the all targetable enemies no-hit run.
He's been working on it for, I want to say, at least the past 4 or 5 months now. Maybe 6 months. It's been a while.
Like, it would have to be, right? Because, I mean, the sheer number of enemies, not to mention the ones that, like, a lot of people just don't know how to deal with.
Right.
That's the problem, is you have to invent strats for a lot of it. Like, you just have to come up with things. That takes so much time. Like, when you can come into a run that's hard, that's the difference. That's what, like, why OG Junkyard, like, approaching a no-hit run and not, like, necessarily just sitting down and watching a video guide instantly, you know? I mean, if you're coming up with things, like, I assume that's the way Junkyard is, you're like, kind of doing, like, almost blind and, like, learning it on the fly.
Yeah, pretty much.
It makes it so much harder because you have to, the burden's on you to come up with, like, how do you do this fight, you know?
Right. And the thing that I found is, like, it gives me more of a reason to, like, pay attention to the whole environment. Like, there was stuff that I found, like, when I was doing the DS1 no-hit, that was like, I just don't want to deal with this enemy. And so, like, in one case, there's a Capra Demon that after you kill Ceaseless Discharge and you're going down towards Bed of Chaos, there's a Capra Demon that's in your way. And I was like, can I cheese this Capra Demon? I just, like, don't want to have to deal with it. And I found out that if you fire, like, an arrow at a certain point, that he will just, like, walk off a ledge. And it's like stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's you kind of take a step back and you realize, like, if I have to, like, invent a way to deal with this enemy, like, based on what I've got, like, what could I do? I've got alluring skulls, I've got fire bombs, I've got, you know, spook, I've got this, that, and the other, you know, storyteller.
Does it help?
Like, what can I deal with for this?
Yeah, so does it help to go in with the knowledge that people have no-hit it? So you get to think about it in the perspective of, like, how have people done this in the past? Like, because obviously people have learned how to deal with this.
Yeah, so the only time I want to say I ever think about it from a standpoint of, like, what has somebody else done is whenever I'm absolutely stuck with something. Like, I have seen a bunch of no-hit runs, but whenever I start actually routing a run, I start with a blank slate. I am not looking at...
That's awesome.
You know, that kind of stuff. But, you know, looking at it from I use the fact that other people have no-hit it as it can be done kind of thought, not what should I do in this situation.
I feel like that's how these no-hit runs progress, though, is people wanting to figure things out for themselves rather than following the same guide over.
I mean, like, this is a perfect example of it. Like, if you're looking at this Osiris fight, like, basically every runner we saw today, with the exception of Distraction Crab, was doing it, like, super up close. And to see him, you know, be really far away and Osiris is doing this, like, flying attack.
An attack that, like, some people haven't ever seen before. Oh,
yeah. Got bodied.
That was interesting. Wait. What happened there?
So basically,
did he charge twice in a row?
He charged twice in a row.
Yeah.
Our understanding up to this point has been that that's not possible.
And we just saw it happen. How many people? We got, you know, like 200 people watching this, and we just saw him get bodied because of a double charge.
Which is watching it back now.
You know, I wonder if that had something to do with the fact that he was so far away. Osiris charged to shorten the distance, and then charged again because, you know.
So, Crab has done this for like how many hours? Like at least dozens, maybe hundreds of hours. And for like, for this to be like one of the first times that's happened, that's wild.
I wonder what causes that, because we have some people saying that that's definitely happened to them.
So
I've definitely had it happen, but where he like quick turned and instantly charged again, just like
that's what I've
charging
seen is
boring.
when he charges and then he pivots and then charges again.
Yeah, and it can happen like
But-
really quick though, like a miniature movement if you're like really in the wrong position, like just really fast, like almost instant.
I wonder if that's what happened.
One thing that just is resetting his basically charge RNG.
Yeah, maybe it was
It's
not
basically-
perceptible almost.
That's fascinating.
That's the first time I've ever seen that. Even like, doing this strat myself too.
But that's one of the things I think that this game teaches you is that, like, no matter how practiced you are, you're gonna run into a situation that you haven't seen before or that other people haven't really encountered very often, and the game is not going to be 100% predictable.
It can up to a certain point, and I think that's where the tough but fair kind of reputation that the Dark Souls games have earned is because for the most part, you can pretty much predict, like, for a regular casual playthrough, you can predict what you did wrong and how to change it on the next attempt. It's basically teaching through death.
Yeah, for sure.
So from this run, like even this one in particular, I feel like I've learned a lot about the game just from like watching this run. It's wild.
And just seeing how people tackle certain things has really like caused me to think, what am I doing like in regards to my positioning? What am I doing in regards to like my item management? Because we were seeing really fast runs, like the fact that we had a 137 and like what, a 146, 145, and then a couple of like we had 4 sub 2 hour runs for vanilla all bosses.
Yeah, the speed at which everyone was doing these runs was insane to me. I mean, that was like not even like a year and a half ago. It was under 2 hours was really fast for any percent. And now they're doing all boss SL1 like that. Pretty crazy.
It's amazing that in 3.5 years, or like 3 years of people attempting no hits on this game, it's still being optimized in huge ways.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which makes me honestly really excited to see, like, so if anybody doesn't know me or, know my thinking on things, I am a huge Sekiro fan. Like, that is my top FromSoft game for multiple reasons. But one of the huge criticisms for Sekiro is that it doesn't have replayability and it doesn't have different ways you can play the game. But I think even seeing this with Dark Souls 3 is just we haven't seen that kind of optimization and that kind of usage for the different items yet.
I think we're going to see some stuff happen with Sekiro. Like, look at the speedrunning scene, for example, and how just recently there's been this explosion of the all beads, all memories, glitchless category.
Right.
Like, we'll see, like, when people love a game, they will come up with something to make it replayable.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see that in all of these games, to be honest. Like, we're still seeing Bloodborne, like new Bloodborne stuff. People going for world firsts in Bloodborne.
Who was it? Was it Eden that found that latest skip? In the clinic?
It was Giant Cookie Jar, and Eden found basically an alternate version of it.
Oh. Yeah, and that game, that game came out 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
I want to say it was 6, yeah. But I'm excited that, like, we've started up with the tournaments again, because I want to see something that instills this sense of like desire to optimize again.
Oh yeah, there's so much potential too. I mean, these games, like people are playing these games all the time. They just need a stage to show it, and really cool guys. You guys are doing this. It's really awesome. It's just gives everyone a purpose for continuing a run, and optimizing it and making it better.
It is, and I think it really helps bring the community together again for people that love seeing these runs. And even like speedruns and stuff like that. It's just nice to have a centralized forum to see runners and see what cool strats that they've come up with in the past 6 months or so.
Oh yeah, and I've seen some stuff I didn't even know about, like that in only a couple months. It's crazy how fast things change. And I mean, some of these runners went from just doing all boss or whatever, and now they're doing incredibly fast, like sub 2 hours easily, SL1, basically not taking any hits. It's crazy to watch. Really cool.
And like the level of ambition that goes into this is amazing too. Like Distraction Crab's going for all targetable enemies. That's like
yeah, that's one of the coolest runs in a while. That's really awesome. I'm glad he's doing it.
Oh man, I cannot believe Tricky finished 59 seconds.
That's insane.
That might be the closest differential between 4th and 5th, like between qualifying and not qualifying I've ever seen.
Probably, yeah.
That comes down to some crazy stuff too, like little bits of RNG and just all sorts of stuff.
Right.
Well, if you also think about it, the fact that Dino took nearly like an hour longer than the fastest run and still qualified goes to show like that being fast doesn't necessarily get you in, but being consistent or being practiced is where it's at.
Yeah, and if anything, Dino is that he has done. I mean, he's one of the most consistent runners out there for the entire series. Like he's working on the God Run right now, and I believe his PB is. Has he got? I think he's gotten to the 5th game.
Yeah.
He missed the parry. Oh no.
That's tough.
He's laughing about it. Oh my god.
I love it. Oh, he didn't have the shield.
Oh, wait.
He shield the whole run.
Oh my god.
No. I swear he had that shield on for like the entire run.
No. That's amazing.
Oh boy. I've done this before. I've done this exact thing before.
Oh, I'm sure most runners have at some point.
That is the fact that he had that shield on. He had it on for Princes. He had it on for everything.
TSA.
He got to Demon Souls. That's awesome, Nelskis.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is truly the God Run. What Dino is doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's astonishing from the fact that like, not only do you have to be good at one game, but you have to be good at different games. That the engine mechanics are different. The control schemes are like get modified a little bit over time, and like the evolving kind of play style that those games take. Because
you have to be so flexible with your muscle memory too.
Right,
you cannot let one game's muscle memory take over.
The thing that I want to like really highlight that for me personally like catches me off guard every time is the simple act of jumping.
Oh yeah.
Because in DS1, you have to be running and then you tap circle again to jump.
Oh, that's right.
Whereas with DS2 and DS3, you have to be, you have to be running, and then you push, the left stick in on like a PlayStation 4 controller.
And then with Bloodborne, you go back to the circle jump.
So you've got to be prepared for stuff like that. And so like,
these runs where you do multiple games in a row, it's just crazy to me. I don't understand how you can just switch between games like that and just not have a problem. I would have so many problems.
Absolutely. Even like, so I just started playing Sekiro, and it blows my mind that I can freely jump at will.
Let me tell you, when you come back to DS3, it's gonna be a mess. you are going for like a couple days, and then you're gonna be good again. It's just like, oh my god, I can't do anything. I'm just standing here. And,
it's funny. In my mind right now, I'm like, I'm not gonna go back to DS3, and then like fast forward to me 3 months from now, where I'm like grinding some stupid run again.
Should I clip this part, just this small part of the tournament, play it back for you when you do go back to DS3?
Just add it as like a sound bite or something.
It'll be your sub alert just for DS3.
God damn it. I can't even argue with it either.
I feel like everybody goes back to DS3. Mostly everybody.
Oh yeah.
So what would you like to see happen in runs at this point in time? Like, what have you thought has been possible? What have you kind of imagined would eventually be done that you haven't seen yet?
Oh, I can think of a couple, but they're not gonna happen. I mean, I would love to see a blindfolded run.
A blindfold no hit?
Yeah. Why not? Or deathless. Just anything. Just gotta be something.
You're a madman.
Are you thinking operating even explicitly on town or on what sound is what I tried to?
Yeah, I think we might even be allowed. I would sound effect. Just do whatever you want. Just you want to add a sound effect for every attack. I'm good. I just want to see it. I want to see it happen. Blindfolded.
I have tried doing a blindfolded run.
Yeah, I've seen you do it. That's what I'm talking. I watched you do that.
It's just a complete nightmare. Like
I've seen you do it. It was fun.
It's so ridiculously hard. And the thing that I found was, like, even if you've got somebody kind of like talking you through it and telling you where you're at, just the lag, the overall lag just makes it.
Yeah, you were on Discord, which was really smart. That was like, and I didn't really, even that wasn't enough.
He predicted the game crash. I don't know if y'all saw it.
Predicting the game crash, what?
Yeah, so the game is going to crash at certain points based on if you've like relaunched it, I think. Or something, and you can actually prepare. Like V-Sweat, I would always prepare in advance. He would like do certain things to like, I think if you hit the escape button or so, like if you go into the menu, it'll like autosave or something. So he would autosave at a certain point. Because he would always crash at the dogs. His PC, for whatever reason, is weird. So he would always crash at the dogs on the pots upstairs, and then he'd like spawn in front of them, which was really bad. So he had to like come up with his own strategy to beat that.
Can I just say
my crash point is always archives.
Can I appreciate the fact that I play on PS4 and I don't deal with this problem?
I'm surprised.
Well, la di da.
Well, you do have a downside of your dancer is 20 frames per second, which turns that fight into the hardest fight in the game. Instead of and Cinder. Oh my god, I don't even know. You might need to get a PC real quick.
I am working on getting a PC this year, but still, it's one of those things.
All no-hit runners that switch from console to PC become like gods. Like V-Sweat and Eden became so good.
Yeah.
So fast.
Like V-Sweat and Eden's first runs, I believe, like first no-hit runs were on console.
So you mean I'm just gonna become like the next like Gino Machino ×2?
Well, there's things like the Yorm fight. The Yorm fight on console, if you want to do Twin Blades, is almost impossible because the stomp comes out. It's just really hard to see it. But on PC, it's not a big deal. It's still hard, but
so many frames in this game.
Yeah, you lose a lot of frames. I think does impact your like reaction time and stuff.
It's like a whole 60 of them or something.
Yeah, it's almost too many.
The physics of the game work differently on console then?
I can only assume, yeah. Everything probably.
Because in this engine,
I definitely know there's like enemy like position, like things just work differently. It's probably frame rate related.
I do know that whenever I went back to playing Dark Souls Remastered on Nintendo Switch, after playing on PS4, it was so bad. Like,
oh yeah.
It's like 20 frames a second or whatever. It's ridiculously bad. But I originally played on them. Like the first one I got through Dark Souls was Dark Souls Remastered on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, very cool. I didn't realize you were like that new to the Souls franchise.
So,
or maybe was it just the first one?
No, I am and I am. I am that new, but I also am not. So what happened for me was I originally got Dark Souls 1 on Xbox 360. And the furthest I'd ever made it was, but this was back in 2017, I want to say. But the first I ever made it was to Gaping Dragon. I didn't ever get to Sen's Fortress or anything like that.
Did you go through Blight Town then?
Yeah, so
on the 360. Oh God.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I went through Blight Town. I went through basically I did everything up to Sen's Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I just kind of like got bored with the game. I didn't really understand like where to go or what to do.
Crab's gonna get this freaking Wyvern skip, I believe.
I may not have even gone through Blight Town, but I know that I did not get the prompt showing you like that Sen's Fortress is now open, and that's
You
where
can get the cutscene or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that he has to worry about when he's consistently missing the skip. So the main thing is that your camera can actually do a reset if you hit the top of the stairs up there. It'll like basically reset your camera, which means it'll whip around like 180 degrees because like your character's facing a different direction. And so basically the tail can swipe. He can like do his quick head swipe thing, and your camera can be facing the wrong direction. So you actually have to like learn how that feels and know that he's swiping you.
Can we get some bless RNGs in chat for the good head?
Pray for the good head.
Pray for the good head.
Wyvern does some weird things whenever you don't get it first try. Like he's been turning around and like
this is the perfect RNG though. Yeah.
Let's go. You guys prayed for the good head and we got the good head. Oh my God, the blessing of chat.
Because if you do that enough, you can get your muscle memory so messed up that you actually just fall off. Like you could fall off the edge, run off.
I was about to ask Jerome to start whipping out some dollar bills to pay the Wyvern.
No comment.
We might not have the finals tomorrow. I'm gonna get banned.
Hey, it's not my channel. I'm good.
I mean, as long as you're keeping your nips where they belong, you're fine.
I've never had my shirt off on this channel.
Oh my God.
No, okay, so this part coming up. Pretty. Okay, so most other say this is easy. But,
well, to be fair, I was getting a tattoo, so it was relevant to the situation.
Okay, we'll let it slide, maybe.
There's two things coming up here. So first of all, there's going to be another Wyvern.
Those are nipples, right?
Yeah.
Did you put band-aids over them, Junkie?
Not whenever I was getting the tattoo.
Manga TOS, man.
Up, and there's a couple different ways to deal with it. The most common way would be, I actually love this strat where you throw a skull, and both these guys will just roll off if you throw.
Oh,
yes. Okay, it worked out in the end. He's good.
Oh, there we go.
I love killing them by doing
this.
They
just walk off. Those poor roly-polies.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw it
ended like multiple of my runs, so they're not really that. Honestly, they deserve that.
They do kind of
horrifying.
Well,
and I love this window strat as well. Once the roly-polies are dead, you can go through like this. You go all the way through and wait. He'll just fly away. There is like a 1 in like 20 chance that he just doesn't fly away, which
sometimes he just sits there.
Weird, but I'm gonna try not to think about that. And
that's fun.
If you don't really have a solution for you.
If you think about it though, right? The the enemies in this game really like the alluring skull blue Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah, it's blue raspberry flavored.
You know, because
that is my favorite flavor.
In Dark Souls 1, they don't. They do not care. And in Dark Souls 2, they don't care. Dark Souls 3, they're like, yeah.
In Dark Souls 2, like they like sometimes care. Oh no.
Oh
Ricard.
no.
Oh my God. And no, he kills this guy. He knows how to kill him. He did it intentionally.
Manga W.
He knows how to kill him, I'm sure.
Wait, what? Yes?
He kills this guy on his run. We were panicking. He knew exactly what he was doing.
We were panicking.
Oh my God. Poggers McFroggers. GG.
Sly dog.
Look at that. That's right. For whom the bell tolls.
We got debated.
Oh my God.
Who was it that did the... Was it Backflipius that did the the meme with dipping the head in the wax?
I think it was. Who was that?
That sounds
I
like
think
backflip
so.
yes.
Yeah, that sounds like something Flippy would do.
He like killed everything off, and right before he was gonna go fight Cinder, he and cue the cutscene and all that stuff. He went to archives, and then dipped his head in wax, boned back to Shrine, started the cutscene purely for the fact that Firekeeper like basically puts ashes like cinders on top of your head, so it looked like.
Are you wearing? Do you have the wax in the cutscene?
Yes. So it looks like
That's so good.
looks like the Firekeeper is lighting a candle.
On your head.
Yes.
That's
That
amazing.
is just the kind of thing that Flippy would find.
Right.
It's also 100% worth it, by the way. I just wanted to point that out. It is completely worth the extra 5 minutes it takes.
Yeah.
Think
If
about the
anybody
RNG
has
karma
a
you get
clip
for
of
doing
that, I would love to see it.
It happened in one of the no-hit tournaments.
I think it
Oh
was the Wheel
my
of Pog. I
god.
hate to say it. I think it was the Wheel of Pog. That's my favorite thing about these runs, though, is people coming up with crazy stuff. Just doesn't even have to be the most, it doesn't even have to be a strategy to be more efficient or anything. It's just like something fun.
Yeah.
I think one of my my favorite things in one of the tournaments was Ange, in one of the Sekiro damageless tournaments. He figured out how to parry the snake in the very beginning.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can do
What?
this.
It was
so
the
cool.
it's the biggest flex ever. But it's just little things like that that kind of make the runners stand apart. That
Yeah,
it's
like, why
ridiculous,
would you do
but
that? Except that
exactly
it's awesome.
right.
Because you can.
Because you can. That is the only acceptable reason.
Oh, Vinny says that he didn't do the wax dipping. He was tasked with it till the end.
So basically, but he did do it on purpose. He knew
Oh.
the cutscene would
So
happen,
this
though, so he
was-
did it on
Uh-huh.
purpose.
This was generated by the Wheel of Pog. That
It
is-
was.
Well, that's perfect.
How funny.
I wonder if this is weird that I didn't mention this the entire tournament, but SL1, like the weirdest thing you have to deal with is that a lot of your attacks are going to be rolling attacks if you attack too quickly after your roll.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, it's
that's
very
significantly
spiked.
lower damage. And it's the one big brain like block I have about this run is that you actually have to change how you attack, and it's really important.
Like if you're doing Prince's Cheese, it's super important. If you're doing this fight at all, it's super important.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, you can't really do the run with it unless you understand that pretty well. 'Cause you're losing out on, I don't know, 30-40% of your damage, some huge amount.
It's like the one of the biggest differences between broadsword and twin blades.
Yeah, and the way you deal with it is you kind of like pause almost a quarter of a second or so, and that will just reset it so you can just keep on doing good attacks.
Because like twin blades, you just kind of mash L1 and you win.
Yeah. So looks like he's doing a unique strategy. This is not what Gino was doing. A lot more far long range attacks. This is like
Considering
the
you
more
like
traditional way of
Osiris
doing it. I
strat.
feel like. Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel
This
like a lot of
feels very
people
similar.
have done this fight this way though. Like in the past at least. I've seen. Oh, he's got a invisible. That is one of the problems with a long fight like this. He has run into the barriers of the arena.
Oh no.
He's like an inch away from the wall right now.
How do you even how can you even tell that that's where you're at?
Your
You can't. You just
camera
hit it
and
and stop moving.
movement.
You just stop moving for a second. He's running away, and
So like
see,
the
see
camera
how the
pushed
camera
up
just
against the
pushed
wall
him.
there.
The camera just forced him. Yeah, that's the wall.
Huh.
I've definitely hit the walls in the Four Kings fight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me tell you, if you hit the wall here, you're probably gonna die. Like I'm surprised he didn't.
Hitting the wall in the Four Kings fight is probably top 10 scariest moments that's ever happened to me. In a boss
Really
fight.
great though. He did an amazing
Right.
job. Clean, perfect. No
Oh,
RTSR.
That was
Man.
very, very clean. Nameless.
GG distraction crash.
Really
Yay,
good.
crowd!
And he had his shield back on. He learned his lesson from the Gundyr fight, never taking that off. He told himself never again.
All right.
All right.
So let's see his character's screen. Or does he have more? Okay, 247, level 1. Cool.
Level 1, yeah, sweet.
At 13 hits.
All right, he's gonna pop in here.
Cool.
Courtney.
Hey.
Distraction crab.
Hello.
Crab GG.
Thank you.
Dude, that was extremely fun to watch.
Hold
You
on,
showed us a
I think
lot
I
of
need to
stuff we've
step
never seen before.
Oh yeah, like the extra stuff. Yeah, I'm just kind of sad that I did so poorly in the end.
So was DSA the big like thing that maybe got into your head? Do you think?
Yes. No, I was tilted. I definitely got tilted. After that second hit, it's just like there was like 3 hits I took that was a slow reaction because I was just tilted, just stressed and unfocused. No doubt.
So what does your typical DSA fight look like on your all targetable enemies run?
It looks like the regular run, just I have to do 1 extra hit because I only have +8 in there normally.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you guys?
So what did you go into DSA with this run? Was it still +8 or?
It was +9, but
okay.
I'm trying. Hold on, I gotta fix all the volume for people because people can't. I'm
no worries. Take your time.
Oh, you're good.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I went in with.
We've been doing the same thing.
Yeah. +9, like I'm pretty sure everyone else did. Well, no, everyone else were speed demons, so they probably went in there with +0 and just did it in 2 seconds. So.
Gino and Eden were both like insanely fast on the DSA. It was wild.
Yeah, I need to go back and look at that. See how they did that.
Indeed.
You had some really great fights, though. Some really fun ones to watch. It's clear that I'm really impressed with the run you've been working on. Like all target enemies. That's really awesome.
Well, I'm glad you like it. It's gonna be coming back after the tournament because now I have time to actually work on it again.
Oh, I wanted to ask about a hit. So the Osiris hit, the double charge.
Yeah.
Is that just a thing that can happen? I
have never seen it happen.
I hadn't either. That was wild.
I think like it's possible I just may have been too far in front of him because normally like he may have a positional thing kind of like Calamite does in terms of choosing his moveset. And it could just be I was too far in front because I was like touching his collarbone, like I was above like his breasts essentially.
Gotcha. Which sounds like a fun place to be in theory, but apparently not.
Not on paper. I mean, it's not. It turns out not to be that fun. You get charged.
Oh yeah, saggy dragon tits. That's exactly what I want to be near.
You got to get close to the bulge. That's where you really want to be.
That's where Dino ended up.
Yep. Oh man.
Reminds me of like a bad 80s concert.
Saggy dragon tits. Just turn it into a Swedish metal band. I'm sure they'll have a good opening. Oh,
there you go. There you go.
Well, I can safely say I'm definitely not making it to the finals.
There's always a chance.
Yeah, let me just go spike other people's drinks, and when they don't show up,
just splice their VODs retroactively.
Never mind.
There you go.
Where did V-Sweat end up? I don't remember what happened to him.
he has the flu.
V-Swed ended up getting sick and missed a couple of days of work.
Tell me he didn't just come home from. Oh no.
And so he had to make up those days at work, and so basically it was like he had to work this Saturday and Sunday, and so wasn't going to be able to make the tournament.
Oh, too bad.
Man, I hope he's feeling better.
Same here. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start reviewing the clips. And so we got our review, our replay scene here. And let's go ahead and start. I need to find. We're gonna have a whole lot of clips to review. Where did this start?
We got a couple of highlights. We want to review some of the things that happened.
Some fun things.
Yeah.
But Crab, hey, thank you so much for participating. It was a blast.
Thank you, Crab. It was definitely entertaining.
I'm glad you guys thought so.
Oh, it's very fun. Very fun to watch.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, guys, as always. I just wish I could have done better.
Hey man, in 2 weeks to come up with a run this like this good, I'm amazed.
Yeah, I
GG,
think
man.
this is my 15th attempt.
Oh my gosh, and like 15th attempt to be 13 hits under the
That's
pressure of being in a
amazing.
tournament.
That really is amazing.
That's only 13 times my PB.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, thank you guys. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I hope to be able to get a chance to pop in next time.
Of course.
We really look forward to having you back.
All right, take
Indeed.
care, guys.
Catch
All
you
right,
later.
thank you. Okay, so we're gonna pull up the clips. I've already got the first one loaded up. So it is a clip of. Let's see. Oh no, wait. I got the wrong ones pulled up. I was gonna say.
Did you get the ones from
we can start.
early bracket?
Before we get to reviewing all the hits, do we want to kind of reveal like the standings for tomorrow? Just so everybody knows what to expect.
Yeah. So right now, from what I'm seeing, this is actually the first clip. We'll review this here in a second. But the standings as of right now are Eden Issue is top qualifier with 1 hit and a time of 1:43.25. Dino Singile is the second qualifier with 1 hit at 2 hours 39 minutes 19 seconds. Gino Machino had 2 hits and is our third qualifier with 1 hour 37 minutes 42 seconds. And Sounds Tricky barely beat Squillakilla. Both had 3 hits. Sounds Tricky got in with a time of 1 hour 55 minutes 28 seconds, barely edging out Squillakilla, who had 1 hour 56 minutes and 27 seconds. So our 4 finalists, we need to double check all the clips and everything, but our 4 finalists as of right now, which I'm pretty sure this is all accurate, is Eden Issue, Dino Singile, Gino Machino, and Sounds Tricky.
And really, huge shout out to every single runner that participated.
Oh, for sure.
For those of us who are not no-hit runners, it's so incredible just to see the level of skill from all of the runners.
Indeed. And these are not easy runs. And whenever Zero and I were originally talking about this, like the day kept coming closer and closer, and so we were like, okay, we need to put this on the calendar, that kind of thing. And then we decided to put it on the calendar, and we hadn't yet decided what we were gonna like tell people we were running. And then we were just kind of like, DS3 SL1 like vanilla sounds good, and so we just told them, and they had like 2 weeks to prepare.
Yep.
Which is not a lot of time.
And this would not have happened without all of the excitement and hype that the runners brought and y'all brought. We really, really, really appreciate that. And we're really, really excited to put on more of these in the future.
Absolutely. I'm definitely excited to run more of them. I'm pretty sure Zero is as well, in a speed form, of course. But I want to say, thank you not only to Zero Salt Show, but thank you to our casters. Thank you to our runners, because it took a lot of coordination to get all the pieces together. And what I thought was going to be like hard parts was not hard parts. What I thought was going to be easy parts turned out to be a little bit more complicated than I originally thought. But it's come together, and today actually went surprisingly well once we got the ball rolling. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into the clips for the second, the late bracket for qualifiers. Our first clip here is a clip of Distraction Crap. This is a hit in the Dragon Barracks, Lothric Castle Dragon Barracks area.
This hit is like one of the most meme hits I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at that, dude.
If you didn't see what exactly happened there, he basically had an enemy fall on top of him. And it was due to the way it spawns.
So he threw the skull, and while he was throwing the skull, he wasn't looking at that Great Axe Hollow, and that caused it to fall on top of him. it all has to do with his camera positioning here.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and this is what you were saying earlier about how you have to have your camera turned upwards, and it will cause that guy to spawn in a different spot than directly on top of you.
So I was talking about the one by the cathedral, which is a similar
Oh,
concept.
yeah. Mhm.
But I wonder, I would assume the same mechanic works. So I've never seen that hit in my life, but I mean, this is an absurdly unlucky hit. But
I've seen that
It's
a few
almost like
times.
the enemies just like float around when you're not looking at them.
Right.
Exactly. And this is something I've been kind of finding in my runs, is like this was not something that was a thing in Dark Souls 1. I don't ever remember seeing like these enemies just kind of like spawning in kind of random spots or random heights. The thing that I find pretty interesting is if you wait a minute or throw that skull in like a different location, but you're still kind of facing whatnot, that enemy will run towards the skull like it's supposed to, like it did after it hit him.
I'm wondering if because they're using kind of either the same engine or a very similar engine as Dark Souls 1 and 2, probably closer to Dark Souls 1. If they were like pushing this engine to its limits, they cut corners to try and save resources and optimize it more.
I mean, it could be. To me, this seems like they were trying to do optimizations, but just this to me actually does seem like more like it's kind of lazy in regards to dealing with it, because to me this is a step back in the experience from Dark Souls 1, because this is a bit of randomness that you can't really like account for too well, and it creates like an unexpected
Once you know it
experience.
can happen, you can control it, but yeah, it's very bizarre, right?
Yeah. Well, the other thing I want to point out here is like whenever you're watching this clip, you see him throw the second skull, and he immediately rolls, and that was because he was trying not to get hit by the
talisman.
The talisman, which, like, I didn't notice at first, and it took me watching this clip a couple of times to be like, why is he rolling? And then I just saw that talisman right there.
I don't think that would have counted as a hit. Well, okay, does it count as a hit if it's a direct hit?
That's a good question, because we didn't discuss.
Jerome,
this.
how did you handle that before? What was your protocol on that? Never mind.
Jerome's falling asleep.
I'm here. Oh, I'm here. What's going on here? I was totally paying full attention. Oh my god, I'm completely aware.
Jerome's not playing WoW, not at all.
No. What was the question? I'm here. Oh, I'm ready.
So what happens is you've got a hollow up top, and he's throwing down Lloyd's talismans at you. And if he hits you with one, does that count as a hit?
So that's probably the hottest debate in the history of this game. And I would say for a tournament, no, but a lot of people would consider that a hit. And so it's a runner's choice. But for a tournament, probably not.
It looks like he would have counted it as a hit based on the fact that he rolled it. So what's our next clip?
Okay, so let's go ahead and pull up the next clip. This is a clip of Sounds Tricky. And let me get it loaded up. So while I appreciate that we have this whole clipping mechanic, and it's nice to be able to do reviews, I wish it could be implemented better. Okay, so this is a High Lord Volnir clip.
Oh, this one was weird. This was like a meme almost.
Yeah, I still don't really know what happened. He just rolled a little bit too far. Pretty minor.
Like it was
like you almost don't even notice.
Yeah. So it looks like the only thing I can tell is that he did roll just an inch too far.
Yeah.
Into the fog.
Just that roll just carried him ever so slightly too far.
Yeah,
I wonder what he was rolling.
Because it's right there, yeah.
Oh, he was rolling the hand. I wonder if he needed to roll that.
It doesn't look like he needed to roll the hand, though.
He was just kind of rolling to move, and he just ended up rolling too far.
That's just an unfortunate one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, never in a million years would he have expected to get hit by that. But that's why Volnir is low-key, like more dangerous than most of the bosses, because it's not a boss that you really know exactly the limits of.
He's also in that like lull in the middle of the run where you feel like you're kind of waiting for the mid to late game. You just got through the early game. You're kind of like just cruising. You're on autopilot, and then you can just like take a hit just like that to mist.
All right. So,
oh yeah.
So here we go. We're into the next one. We've got Tricky here, who basically has Ponto Sylvan practically defeated.
I want to see what he was talking
5,
about.
He said +5.
Yeah,
that's what it was. So the stairs halved the distance of the jump, and he was unprepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's similar to Aldridge, where weird things can happen, like with the speed and the distance of her charges. That's crazy. What a weird, terrible thing.
Yeah, pay attention to the distance that Pontiff jumps here.
Wow.
To me, it was
he doesn't make it anywhere close.
Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting to me the way like that he got hit and then he rolled and he didn't have enough iframes that actually would have carried him through the second hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a rough one too. Pontiff behaves very strangely from time to time. So if you don't get that quick kill on him, it's all bets are off. A lot of the time.
Sure. And I think that's one of the things that makes this fight really interesting, is because you've got such a kind of gamble in this fight. Is like if you delay phase 2 too much, you're now fighting basically 2 Pontiffs. And it's kind of similar to the Dark Lurker fight in DS2, whenever it enters phase 2, but it's kind of telling you how you're going to get hit by the actual Pontiff.
Yeah, it's that nice little telegraph.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We'll play that one more time while I very conveniently use this as an excuse to get the next clip ready. All right. So the next clip is of Distraction Crab. And it looks like we're having more Dragon Barracks stuff go on.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh wait, no, this is the same one. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the same one.
Also, major props to Junkie for setting up this awesome like replay window here. It was a lot harder to set up than you might imagine.
This is really cool though, to actually rewatch the clips and see where the hits came from after the tournament. Because your eyes are looking in 4 different places when a lot of these hits happen. Right. So you only catch the tail end of them.
All right, so this one was just a missed parry, is what it looked like.
The time looked really close. I'm surprised it wasn't a partial.
Right. That's what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
He basically got in here, started the fight with Gundyr, and just missed the parry.
And then subsequently afterwards, parry's the hardest attack that you can possibly parry.
But the timing looked good on that.
Yeah, that was just a partial.
Really good, yeah. And then this attack here is so hard to parry correctly.
Let's see. And then the next clip that we have is
it was like a partial block, but it wasn't a partial parry because the parry didn't actually get off.
Right. But he did the parry.
But
animation.
he took reduced damage from it though.
Yeah.
Right.
He would have died if he hadn't had the shield out or had the shield up like that.
Right. All right, so we got the next clip. It is kind of a deja vu area. It's of Gino Machino.
Oh, the whiff.
Oh no.
The skull just went over the railing. Damn.
Well, that was the thing that I was trying to understand, like, why he got hit. I was like, oh, did the alluring skull not take effect, or like what happened? And it turns out no, like because the alluring skull didn't hit the pillar.
Yeah,
or the
it
wall.
has to make contact. They aren't attracted to it like as a projectile. It's only once it hits somewhere that they're attracted to like that location.
Right.
And he just yeets it right over the railing.
Just barely overshot it.
No.
It was close too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That's one of those things where like his decision making was correct, I think. Like that was really good decision making. And just barely angling the camera down there saves him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, so we got the next clip loaded up as well. After we enjoy this one more time. But to me, like, it goes to show you how exact you've got to be as a runner and how consistent you've got to be as a runner, because not only is somebody like Gino Machino like doing this very hard run, they're doing it fast.
Mm-hmm.
Also, hollows are the hardest enemy in this game. Like, I would bet that if you counted the number of times that like each enemy has reset a run, hollows would be up there.
I thought gravity was the hardest enemy in this game.
That's also true.
Right. So we're going into Eden Issue's princess fight.
Yeah, this hit was crazy. I don't even.
This
really
is a
unfortunate.
really like this hit will catch like the best runners, as we see here.
Yeah.
With Eden, like,
and
that's not having blood ring too. That's going really fast. But I mean,
I bet
you
blood ring
completely
would've
understand
saved him.
why.
so
and then we get a nice little like view of him doing the strat where you circle around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's such a cool strat. I love seeing it. It's like it's almost like an AI loop. I don't know if it is, but because like I do the cheese and I don't know enough about princes to say whether it is or not. But where he just circles around behind him, it's so cool.
like I'm thinking like is it that he could have rolled a little bit later, or was it just bad positioning at the end of the roll? Like,
I think it was bad
was a very
positioning at the
slightly
end
early.
of the row. Yeah, because like Josh said earlier, it's the hilt, that hitbox on the hilt that just caught.
Like, I think the only other thing he could have done is rolled against the swing. And like if he had rolled like the opposite direction, it wouldn't have hit him, but
I almost want to slow this clip down, like just this one specifically, to see where it was.
oh my god, let's just take a moment to appreciate how freaking handsome our runners are.
Right?
Like, oh my god.
So dapper. I'm jealous.
I know, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get this next clip pulled up. And this one is of distraction crap. And we're gonna have kind of a chain of hits here, and they're gonna be to DSA. We have 4 or 5 hits in a row to DSA, I think.
This is DSA in a nutshell. Like, all of the things that like you need just like all the things that you need to have in mind simultaneously when fighting DSA. It's wild.
Well,
So one to
Oh my god, the
meatballs.
giant meatball.
So he was running to dodge the giant meatball, it looks like, and then got hit with the simultaneous mini meatballs.
Which that's the thing that makes this fight so risky, is because they're in second phase. There's so much that can be happening at the same time.
Yeah, he's avoiding many different attacks at once.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're moving on to the next hit.
So yeah, again, just DSA being DSA.
Just
Oh, that almost looks like an Eden input or a first frame roll there.
Maybe he was positioning himself. If you look at the beginning of the clip, he heard the laser sound start, looks at the laser to times it, gets behind the fountain, And then
maybe he just ran out of places to go.
I think so. I think it was just too close quarters for that move.
Yeah.
So he looks at the laser. Back to DSA.
Typically, what I see people do is they'll just roll. They'll just face their camera towards, or not face their camera. They'll face the character towards the fountain and just run directly towards the fountain and just roll in place. That's what I tend to see people do whenever they get in awkward situations with the butterflies doing stuff.
Yep.
Like with lasers and giant meatballs and stuff.
All
Eaten inputs on that specific attack in the past. See, that's what it looked like, because that attack is the one you want to see DSA do.
So now we're moving on to a different fight. And this one I think is Osiris.
Oh, this one is extremely interesting, if this is the one I think it is.
Is this the double charge? Yeah, I think this one's the double charge. No, it's the flying into the charge.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So I think he was just a little bit too... Oh, he rolled early. That's what it was.
Yep.
Because he was far back, he needed to roll later.
And if you
I've actually had this exact same hit before.
If you look at it, you'll notice that Osiris takes a small pivot after he lands.
That's the pivot right there, yeah.
And it just makes this fight like it's kind of like another reason why this fight's like really tough.
So Osiris has no idle frames. Like, so most bosses in this game have an idle animation. And Osiris does not. He does not have a walk animation, he does not have an idle animation in phase 2. So he is either turning or attacking at any given time. So hence why you have to predict his attacks, because he's not gonna like idle for any amount of time between attacks. Right. It's actually it makes the fight very interesting, and a lot of people hate it for that reason.
All right, so we move into now the Grand Archives. And this, I didn't see the attack start. I saw just the hit. So was the attack started while he was running around the bookcase?
Yeah, this is the biggest risk of not killing Sage, is the Crystal Hail. Crystal Hail can hit you from like almost anywhere in Archives.
I forgot I wanted to ask Crab about that. So I thought he had killed Sage with the toxic strat that he was doing.
That's what I thought as well.
So I was surprised to see that.
Like, I noticed that the health was just back up. I wonder if he went back and rested. Like, maybe he didn't think the toxic was going to be enough to kill it. Or maybe he was worried about... You know what I wonder? Okay, I wonder if he... Like, because he threw the poop at it. And then he did a parry, I think.
Right. And then Sage
But maybe he wanted to
disappeared.
kill... Maybe he wanted to kill the Sage before she disappeared.
Tanaslav said that he set the bonfire because the toxic was going to kill him.
Oh, and then he didn't have enough dung pies afterwards to re-toxic, probably.
Makes
sense.
Makes sense. All right, so we're moving on to the next one. It's not safe yet.
So he doesn't buy the dung pies. He uses the ones he gets off of the giant. This was such a meme hit. That's all it is.
Yeah, this was the weapon art stag.
Like, this could happen to literally any runner.
Right. The only way you could have prevented this is to have thrown the skull farther left.
No, not even, because he rolled away from the skull and then used the weapon art.
Well, the reason why I say that is because if you throw the skull farther left, he's not going to roll away.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah. And then the other thing is, like, he could have just, I don't know, tried to predict it, but that's a tough situation. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Junkie.
All right. So next clip here. This is, it looks like a Soul of Cinder clip.
I loved that too because he totally like laughed it off. Like that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Was this a Soul Mass?
This was the Soul Mass,
Oh yeah,
I think.
Soul Mass plus broadsword or whatever that or straight sword is very scary.
Soul Mass plus anything is scary.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that was one hit right there, in my opinion. Because
yeah, for sure.
He was staggered from the first hit, and then the second one the Soul Mass just ended up hitting.
Every single runner got terrible RNG on Cinder today.
Oh, for sure.
Which is honestly like kind of good to see. Like I would rather like every runner get bad RNG than like just one runner, you know?
Right.
And also it's interesting to see how everyone deals with it because I know like some people that would bone out if they saw this RNG.
Right. Well, okay, so one thing around here is this, did we see a hockey stop? Is that why he was kind of stunned and ended up getting hit?
I don't think so. I think he probably thought he was either going to outrange it or he rolled late. That would be my guess.
Because he turned around.
Yeah, so he stopped sprinting, and when you stop sprinting, the character turns to face whatever you're targeting, and that's not enough to cause the pivot animation to happen.
All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, so we were back to Osiris.
Mm-hmm. This is the double charge.
Yeah, this had to have been the double charge.
Mm-hmm.
And if y'all have any clips of moments that y'all remember, like specifically that you would like to share, we would love to see them. Hill, we are wrapping up with a recap of all of the hits.
Indeed, we're about to be on our last clip, by the way. After this one, but yeah, this was a double charge, and I have not seen this before.
Did we see Tricky's hits?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I must have just spaced out for a second.
Yeah,
it's the goldfish brain.
No,
I very much have a goldfish brain.
All right, so this.
That's why I can't get my no-hit run.
So this one was a gun deer hit.
Oh no, this is.
Okay.
This is such a meme.
I love this hit.
I do too.
Oh, he was playing online. That's why he didn't get Grass Crest.
Oh.
Steam was in online mode. How about
that? Completely explains it. That explains everything.
That explains. Yeah, that does actually explain everything.
He's playing
Steam
online.
It all.
Holy shit.
Huh.
Jerome is alive. Yes.
Oh, I'm here. I'm feeling good.
Green team PvP, baby.
Green team PvP. That's right.
You can see his character goes for the weapon arm.
Shield, unfortunately.
His timing was good, though. You saw the timing. The timing was great.
I feel like every runner at some point has done a no shield parry attempt, and it has ended badly. It's
as classic as running off of the roof, just trying to set up RTSR and dying to fall damage.
Yep.
Just one of those small things you can't help but laugh about.
It's one of those things where it's like, if you've done it once, then you're probably a no-hit runner. You're like, you can't call yourself a true no-hit runner until you've done that, something like that before, right? It's just how it goes.
Indeed. It's been like, honestly, this has been a fantastic tournament already. We've seen a lot of really, really cool like running sections. We've seen a lot of cool like boss fights. We've seen, meme hits. We've seen, all sorts of different stuff. We've double charge attacks by Osiris, and it's been one of those things where anytime there's a tournament, you're gonna see something that you haven't seen before. Like basically, that's what I've seen every time I've watched one of these tournaments. But yeah, it's always a gamble, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And it's always a ton of fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it was an honor to have all of these amazing casters and runners here today.
Indeed. We have had quite a variety of casters, and I want to call them out specifically. You know, we had Zero Salt Show, who's my fellow co-host with this, Burnout Pixie, No Hit Jerome. We had Vinny Vega, we had Backflipius and Eden Issue as our casters, and all of them stream on Twitch. And on top of that, they all did a fantastic job, you know, with the various commentary and whatnot. Because I found it was a really good mix between, you know, we had, like myself, I'm asking questions and trying to learn more about the game, and other people know a lot about the game and come at it from different angles. Some people are very, very practiced, challenge runners. Other people are just very, very enthusiastic about the game. And so I learned something, new every time somebody, chimes in on this is why they're doing this, or this is what's going on.
And for me, it's very surreal, because like the first tournament that I saw, I knew nothing about no-hit runs, and now I feel like I'm a little bit on the other side of that, where to be able to be in a position where we can cultivate something like this is very, very exciting to me, and I very much appreciate the opportunity.
So going back to the runners today, we had in the first bracket, we had Dino Singile, Kazoodle, and Squillicilla. And it was a very good bracket. And if you are wondering what the standings were, out of that bracket, Dino Singile had 1 hit. Squillicilla had 3 hits, and Kazoodle had 4 hits. And then the second bracket, which we just finished, was Eden Issue, Gino Machino, Sounds Tricky, and Distraction Crab. Distraction Crab had 13 hits. Eden Issue had 1 hit. Gino Machino had 2 hits, and Sounds Tricky had 3 hits. So who is making it to the finals tomorrow is Eden Issue, Dino Singile, Gino Machino, and Sounds Tricky.
And what time is that happening again?
It is happening at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. Noon Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And that should be 6 p.m. Central European Time, not Central Eastern Time, like I said earlier. And I want to call out specifically that it's Daylight Savings Time, so time zones are changing here in the States. So I'll be on earlier, of course. We'll be probably starting that kind of thing. So if you show up at like 8 and we're not there yet, don't worry, that kind of thing. So,
and if you want to see like announcements for tournament stuff, feel free to join up Junkie's Discord, my Discord.
For sure.
I'm sure we'll be posting announcements there.
We will absolutely be hosting more of these tournaments. We're already actually planning the next one. I don't want to announce kind of what it is yet, because we still need to nail down specifics. But we are already in that kind of thing. So make sure you're following myself and or Zero Salt Show for on here on Twitter to learn more about those future tournaments. And that makes things. Not only follow us, but go follow every single one of the casters, and also go follow every single one of the runners, because everybody who has contributed to this has put in a ton of work, not only practicing for runs, but learning about the game, kind of contributing their knowledge and wisdom and enthusiasm to the community, because at the end of the day, we're all in this having fun. We're all in this trying to be better and that kind of stuff. So I thank you all so much for showing your support by watching these tournaments.
And a big, super special thank you to our legendary casters for our second bracket here. Burnout Pixie, No Hit Jerome. Thank you guys so much. We could not have done this without you.
And it was a lot of fun. I love
it was
these
a ton of fun. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, and thank you guys for putting it on, Zero Salt and OG Junkyard. This is really, really cool. So you did an awesome job.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate it.
All right. With that, we'll go ahead and close things out. We'll go ahead and find a stream to raid real fast.
All right, where are we dropping?
It's kind of up to whoever. We could go drop it on Odyssey, who's doing an Ultra Greatsword grind.
Yo, that sounds pretty cool.
I'm down.
Let's do it up.
All right,
Let's see what happens.
take us away.
You're gonna have to bear with me for a second while I kick off the
No,
raid.
I won't.
Well, we're bearing with Junkie. Thank you all to the chat for being here. Obviously.
Oh my gosh, what a turnout!
I know. It's been a huge turnout today. And I don't think these things would have been nearly as successful if people don't show up and hang out and cheer on the runners and
Absolutely, y'all
make
contributed
fun of
to
the
our,
commentators.
Indeed. All right, and with that,
Cannot
we're
wait to
gonna
do this
raid.
again.
Thank you all so much for being here. Until next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.